Hello and welcome. This is Gray Hughes of Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Stupid is being nice. You're an absolute moron.
It's a house!
Have you lost the last 3 brain cells, or do you just have cabbage for brains? 5 brain cells, 4 aren't working. Here's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
What's going on, freaks? How's it going? Hey, thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. How's it going? Man, I tell you what, those trolls, they're relentless, man. Doesn't matter where I show up, they always have to jump in there and make stuff up, and, you know, it's pretty wild. Crazy times. Lunatic fringe. But how's it going? You know, I put out another video today, hardly got watched again. You know, 6,000, maybe 5,000 views, something like that. Seemed like it was a pretty good one, you know? It's just, you know, it's absolutely wild. Crazy stuff. I don't know if anybody saw the that news that was out there. It was pretty crazy regarding, I guess apparently over at I think it's Palm Beach International Airport or something. I think that's what it's called. Hold on. Yeah. It's right here. So this airport right here, Palm Beach International Airport, apparently somebody set up a deer hunting stand that had a direct line of sight to Trump's plane. Now, if you can point to a place that you would go deer hunting, anywhere around here, let me know. But there's no deer. You know, this isn't a deer, you know, infested place. You know, I mean, hell, I think that's the golf course he plays at. And that shot actually came from, it was right over here, remember? That guy, he was like right in the woods right over here. And Trump was coming around right there. And now there's a deer stand. FBI investigates hunting stand with sight line to Trump's Air Force One exit area at Palm Beach. Now, the U.S. Secret Service uncovered a suspicious hunting stand with a direct line of sight to where President Donald Trump exits Air Force One at the Palm Beach International Airport. Agents found the stand on Friday, and the FBI is now leading an investigation into the discovery. FBI Director Kash Patel said the hunting stand has not yet been connected to any individual. Prior to the president return to West Palm Beach, I think they're doing all kinds of forensic information on it. United States Secret Service discovered what appeared to be an elevated hunting stand within sightline of the Air Force One landing zone. No individuals were located at the scene. The FBI has since taken the investigatory lead, flying in resources to collect all evidence from the scene and deploying our cell phone analytics capabilities. So probably like cast data that we've heard about. All right, guys. Don't forget tonight's another night on here. So if you have the ability to help support the channel, that would be great. I don't want to have another night where it's just sort of me going, "Hey, everybody! If you can help support the channel, that would be great." There is no ad revenue on the live stream, so that's really it. You guys are it. So anyways, it says this is the hunting stand right here. Google Emily said agents discovered the hunting stand during their advanced security preparations prior to Trump's arrival in Palm Beach. There was no impact to any movements and no individuals were present or involved. While we are not able to provide details about the specific items or their intent, this incident underscores the importance of our layered security measures. Yeah. So there's that. You know, I was looking around here. I mean, there's these trees. Let's see. Like, this is what it looks like, apparently. Kind of like that. I think there's a better article, like New York Post here. Had a picture of it. Now, somebody on Twitter drew this, you know, we don't have any idea if that's where it was or not. I found these ones, like that one looked pretty good. That one. You know, when I was looking at it just kind of over here, you know, just kind of looking at that tree. I don't know if that's it, you know. I mean, it could be any one of these trees, but these all have, you know, like you can see the airport right over there. And then there's another one right there that looked pretty good too. And that's definitely just right there. There's the airport. Right there. Thanks, Nader Bader. Yeah, but then Eric Trump put out a tweet that said, hunting stand for all the whitetail on Southern Boulevard, located directly across the street from Palm Beach International Airport, in the medium of a major highway, directly facing the Air Force One stairs. P.S. The Secret Service did a great job finding this. So it's saying like median, and that road they're talking about is right here, I think. Wait, I think it was. Hold on, let me get that in there. So he's talking about Southern Boulevard. Second. All right, there we go. Hey, thanks, Dixie Hippie. Just let me figure this out, okay? We don't need to. So this is Southern Boulevard right here. And the airport's right there, so this is also Southern Boulevard. So he's saying on the median. So my space where I found isn't on the median. I mean, but he's like a median would be like this thing here, right there, you know, any of these spots. And by the way, I mean, there's no deer walking around. You know, I guess maybe like over here. Right there, yeah, I don't know. It's like they can't be on that side because that's up in the air. So this would be, you know, have to be something like one of these guys. But they're kind of little. So I don't know exactly what he's referring to, but that was the closest piece of information I had to somebody knowing where it was. I actually messaged Eric Trump on there. I doubt he'll respond to it, but I know he's being sarcastic, but he's describing the location. I think he's being I mean, isn't it obvious, you guys? He's being sarcastic about the deer. However, it seems like he has inside information about it being for all the whitetail on the whitetail part's the joke on Southern Boulevard, located directly across the street from the Palm Beach International Airport, in the medium of a major highway. See, he's saying that's what he's saying. That's where the deer stand is. He's saying that the deer stand is on Southern Boulevard, in the median of a highway, directly facing the Air Force One stairs. That's what he's saying, right? Don't you get it? The part about the deer is the joke, but I think he's giving true information, saying, you know, because he knows where the stand is. Like, if you knew where the stand was, right, you would go, oh, yeah, you know, for all those deer out there that are on Southern Boulevard in the median there, where this, you know, where the stand is, you know, look out. He didn't even like finish the sentence, though. It just says, you know, right here it says, hunting stand for all the whitetail on Southern Boulevard, located directly across the street from Palm Beach International Airport, in the medium of a highway, directly facing the Air Force One stairs, 200 yards. P.S. The Secret Service did a great job. Wow, I guess we could, you know, 200 yards. I mean, it is close, you know. I mean, that's just right there, right? I mean, there's a part of the airport right there, and I think that's what he's referring to, though. That's the joke part. The joke was just the whitetail, but he was gave out information about where it was on the in the rest of it. But maybe that's over here even. You know, because look at Trump's plane is right here. See this? And that is about 200 yards direct right from the highway here. Look. So if I went like that, that's 289 yards. And I don't know which spot it would be, but I mean, he'd be flying Air Force One, but I would imagine he might have it pull into the same area over here, not the main airport place. You know, he's got his own sort of private area that I think he would probably go to. What do you guys think? Are you guys even here? It's like there's 9 comments in 10 minutes. It's just, we're having one of those nights. What does? Okay, everyone coming in, please help the like button. Yeah, I know you're here. It's just like nobody's commenting. We're struggling right out of the gate, really. You know, this case because I was the one human waiting to hear everything during trial. What do you mean you were the one human? This whole, our channel, we completely built up to following the Idaho 4 case. I'm not sure why you're actually just now researching the Idaho 4 case? Man, that's crazy. Yeah, they said that it wasn't. It's like a hunting stand that had a clear view, direct view of where Trump would normally get off of his airplane. And it's apparently, according to Eric Trump, on a median over here, which is really just these, ones here. These aren't a median, right? I mean, it could easily be one of those, for sure. I mean, it looks very similar to some of these. I mean, they're kind of small, though. They're not really big enough, some of these. And I don't think the ones, I mean, how would you be able to build the one in the middle on a median? So I don't really know. I think I found ones, but those are long shots where I have it. If I had a good picture, the only picture I have is this one. And there's really, but it looks like a really large and older tree on that one. And so the ones I found over here, if I had any kind of a reference picture on it, I was looking at these. These ones look exactly like that one. Here, I mean, look at this. I mean, you just kind of look at like a tree like that. Perfect spot, inside of there. And there's the airport right there. So I don't know. I don't know if I had like a wider shot, I could probably do something with it. Thanks, Monster Truck Steve. And thanks, Alley Cake. All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like my videos get treated like they're good. That's the problem. It's like you make a good video. I feel like I'm sort of art, like one of those art festival video maker people who makes a really good video or a movie, and man, it's so good, but nobody watched it. I did though, great. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I understand that the freaks watch the videos. The point is you got to get way more than the typical people that watch your channel to watch videos, or they just don't work. Probably not, Marilees. Wow, how come you didn't watch anything on the case till just now? I'm just now starting to watch. I didn't watch anything on the case. Well, I tell you what you should do is don't watch any of the conspiracy nutters because they're the same people. If you're still there, Hilson House of Create, just watch my videos. Don't bother watching the live streams because they're like 3 hours long. We go through a bunch of stuff. I would go watch all of my videos that I made, and you'll absolutely know it better than anybody else that think they know it. Okay? Anyway, so I'm going to go. I mean, that's really all there is. If we get better information about where, if you find something, let me know. But all I have is Eric Trump saying it's on this road right here. I think it was that one. Or was it? Hold on. I think I might be. Yeah. Yeah, so that's Southern Boulevard, right? It goes this direction. And he said it was on Southern Boulevard on a median. So, and he mentioned even like 200 yards. So, hell, maybe he even goes over to this one. Yeah, and I don't see anything like structure like that in the back. I mean, that'd be pretty crazy, right? But that's not a median. I mean, the trees do kind of look bigger like that. All right. Well, anyways, that's all I got. If we find something more about where the shot came from, let me know. But they're definitely investigating it. Let me see if this other article has anything different in it. The U.S. Secret Service is investigating what could be a sniper's nest or a hunting stand near an area where President Trump's Air Force One has recently been kept at Palm Beach International Airport. The suspicious stand, found Thursday, is in a tree and within the line of sight of the section of the airport where Trump exits the presidential jet, and was described to the Post by law enforcement sources as an odd collection of pipes. The possible sniper's nest is seen in a tree. It's right there. President Donald Trump exits Air Force One at Palm Beach International Airport. Be cool to get a reflection on that, but don't even have that. Nothing to go on. Prior to the president's return to West Palm Beach, U.S. Secret Service discovered what appeared to be an elevated hunting stand within sight line of Air Force One landing zone. Man, I think there's going to be, this just sucks, more people. He's already been attacked, tried to be killed twice by nut jobs. No individuals were located at the scene, Patel said. The FBI has since taken the investigatory lead, flying in resources to collect all evidence from the scene and deploying our cell phone analytics capabilities. Air Force One is not typically kept at the section of the airport, but recent construction has pushed the plane to an area of the airfield where private planes park. That's what I was just saying. Private planes. Let's see what, if we go to, that's March. And is there anything looks like construction? I mean, there's stuff going on right there. So, I mean, maybe he's right over here. Is that Air Force One right there even? Kind of seems like that could be. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, that is Air Force One. I would think. I mean, see the blue on there? How it wraps around just like that, and that looks exactly like that. I think that's 100%, right? And, you know, it's March of this year, so he was president. And yep, and it's even got two engines on each side. So there you go. That might be where it was. And so when you say direct line of flight, then I guess it's exactly the same place that his Trump plane is on normal days. So it'll be like right there. And direct line of flight. So hell, maybe some of these trees over right. I mean, that's a perfect spot right there, isn't it? It's not really on the median, but it could be right in there. And that spot there, though, man, that's just, I mean, that's right in the line.
My favorite Kohberger video is when you found a small white car on Google Earth at what could be a stop point to hide evidence.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy, wasn't it? And if I can quote every word Steven Stern's ever said, that's okay. I know that case pretty good myself. What around about me, the fool about something we did, I was supposed to do. You might not have heard of, maybe you haven't. Person, all of it was like, used to get angry and all uptight. You can say what you want, just spell my name right. All I'm really guilty of rocking a house. That's what the room was all about.
I can quote every word /line.
Yeah, we we haven't seen it.
Stearns ever said if that counts. Rolling on the floor.
It counts. It counts as something. That sucks, though. Do you think... I bet there'll be a trial... I don't know. I think he's going to plead guilty on the... to avoid the death penalty. I don't think that's ever... I don't even think the trial, for murder is going to be going to... Or there won't be one, is what I'm trying to say. What do you guys think of that? Yeah, I mean, I have, like, if you go back and watch my videos, I have all this surveillance footage. The whole time we go over the probable cause documents, but those are on live streams. But if you go back and watch my video, I went there and I drove around and I have 360-degree videos of the house and everything while it was still up. And, good videos out there. He's turning on Jen. What's he saying? I haven't been following it recently. What's he saying regarding Jen? He probably thought that was his only out. Yeah, I saw that. Yep. I've seen them all. I have them. Well, somebody brought up Stephen Stearns. Can you just read the chat? You'll be able to follow along. We were just talking about the Trump hunting stand. She has enough evidence to burn her down. How does she have any evidence? Who's Candy? Is that the mom? How do we know he's speaking to police about her involvement? How do we know that? They actually investigated. I mean, the thing is, I've said before, it wouldn't be shocking if she was involved, but there was no evidence that law enforcement found that said that one of the investigators even told the parents, yeah, we don't think she had any idea what he was doing. We don't think she's involved. Yeah. Emails of what? He's just coming up with stuff. Emails between him and Jen? Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it's definitely possible. I just don't think it's what... I don't believe it, to be honest. I think Stephen Stearns treated them... He was basically... what do you call it? Groomed the mother and the daughter. Hey, you know what's cool? Russ, or whatever the hell your name is. You can sleep anywhere. So we're going to go ahead and block you from the channel, and you can just take a nap, and we don't need to hear that you're sleeping. How's that sound? Does that sound good? Sound good? Okay, good. See you later. You can sleep anywhere, you know? Well, I would have to get some proof that, but, I mean, it would mean, I would admit to being wrong if she was involved. But I'm just saying, I don't think she was. It wouldn't be shocking, though, if there's some other element. I wouldn't be like, oh my God, no way! I just think, the way she behaved didn't seem odd to me. She's just kind of a strange person. You don't know anything about it? Oh, yeah? Huh. Weird. That was a pretty big one. I did pretty good work on that one. I found where the crime scene was before any other person on YouTube or social media or the news. All of that. Just by looking at just a little bit of this helicopter footage. I even found the precise, I guess you'd call it bamboo shoot trees where she was. Okay, well, his emails are being read out loud. Who's getting the emails? I haven't seen those. Maybe you can send me, if anybody has copies of those emails, I'd be pretty interested. Maybe it's like, I don't know. I don't know who would have those. But hey, guys, we're having these lulls already out of the chute here. So if you guys have the ability to help support the channel, we're not even close to, we're like at 20%, believe it or not. So if you have the ability to, that would be great. Thank you. Yeah, I can't stand when people say what you just said. No mother should ever be able to be groomed. Okay, I don't care what your opinion is. It just happens. Okay. You know, everybody tries to show their moral superiority. You're so much better than everybody else. You know, you wouldn't have done this, you wouldn't have done that because you're so much better. And you don't know what would happen. You might meet somebody and you thought they were the greatest person in the world, and they just weren't. Okay? Now, we have samples of things that she did that are, you know, stupid, but you know, they probably made it seem like it was okay, and she was like, you know, in bad medical condition. I just can't stand when people pretend that they're morally, like just like in the Delphi case, when people say stuff like, man, why would anybody let their kids go walk at the bridge there? As if that's like the case. You know, that isn't the case. The case is that some psycho showed up and killed people. Right? That's what you got to be focused in on. Focus in on Stephen Stearns. He's the monster. Well, they already made the arrest, Grace, so we don't have anything to talk about. So we're going to go after Jennifer, okay? Okay, yeah, you just go do what you feel like. Right, his parents are nuts. I believe the story about the kid who got a bribe to not say anything. I believe that 100%. But hey, you guys, how do we get things moving along here? We're just really like mired in mud, other than one nice super chat there by Hilson House of Crazy. Other than that, we would just be at like 1/12. You know.
Thanks, Ray. Ocean wave emoji.
I might have. Let me type in McFadden right here. Looks like it. Yeah. Right here. Looks like maybe the last couple of years or so. I don't remember it, but I don't remember the case, but it's right there. Yeah, I have it. It's right there. I just don't remember it. What about it? What about it? Just quickly type in. Right, the part about sending to sleep. It's just, you know, the daughter probably never admitted it, and they were just like, it's just okay, we're having fun. You know, I could just see, because Jennifer Soto there's something wrong with her, okay? And he probably picked her for that reason. She's not bright. She's kind of a dumb person. Hey, it's my biological father. He wasn't a great dad. I don't call him dad or anything. He was just a great artist. My stepdad, who I actually call dad, he's way better. I mean, he was like one of the best nephrologists on the planet. That's kidney specialist. He like absolutely, you know, wrote textbooks, and you know, he made a big difference to the world. I was showing them last night to show like how I'm sort of have a little different perspective on stuff. Okay, well, I'm not, when you say I read your intentions wrong, you said exactly what I said. Right. You just keep saying the same thing over and over again. Thanks, Marilise. Yeah, he was like a head of that. Like, my dad was the head of the transplant unit at Good Sam, I think it was. And the surgeons are below him. Like, he's the one that would be, you know, put the patients. I mean, you know what? Here's something crazy. About 2 years ago, I was playing golf at, or maybe like 3 years ago, I was playing golf. And this guy I'm playing with, we were just randomly talking, you know, just, he was from India or something. And he said, somehow it got brought up where he goes, yeah, I had a kidney transplant. We're on hole number like 8 or something. And I said, oh, wow. And I go, do you know who Dr. Bennett is? And he goes, oh my God, oh my God. Like, he almost fell to the ground. Like, he goes, he saved my life. You know, and I go, yeah, well, that's my dad. And he just, like, was like, oh shit. So I actually called my dad and I go, hey, guess who's right here? And they talked for a few minutes. It was pretty cool. It was like, almost like, you know, the dad was like Michael Jordan to that guy, you know. Now, we know B and Summer, but focus on the bad people like Stephen Stearns, okay? I know that you didn't get your pound of flesh, so you need to focus in on the mother, and let's all just keep attacking Jennifer over and over and over and over and over and over again. All right, but at the same time, let's just see how it all pans out. If she was absolutely aware of and encouraging them to have sex and so forth, then she should get almost the same damn sentence he got. I mean, she should be like in the same realm, right? Because isn't that child, I mean, it would be the death penalty. Then it's a horrendous situation. LeBron isn't even close. I wouldn't even put him in. I'd put him in top 6 or something. He's not even. LeBron's a poser, just garbage. Hey, thank you, Saturn Dreaming of Mercury. Hey, Gray, you're collaborating with Lord and Arts at all? Not recently, no.
Hey, Gray, you collaborating with Lord and Arts at all? I originally learned about you through him and Brain Scratch. John always seems like a chill dude.
Yeah, we used to do stuff. I don't know what he's doing these days. I talk basketball. I have a whole channel that I have that I'm trying to do for basketball. I think he's I can't stand the guy. I would say if I was starting a team, I'd pick Magic Johnson over any player that's ever played. You know, if I was just starting a team, that's the guy I would get, man. He made everybody better. Let's see. Hey, Super Small World, I'm doing a dinner program on kidney transplants this week. Oh, really? Hey, cool. We just started it. We only got like 4 subs, but you guys should go over and subscribe just to be, you know, give us some subscribers. It's called, let's see, Blazers Bros. We did an experimental unlisted video, kind of a live thing. So there's no videos or anything on it, but if you want to go do that, that'd be cool. Welcome, B. Sir. Nah, he's not though. LeBron's just he's not all around. He's nowhere near as good as Magic Johnson was for his team. And if you don't know that, then you're too young and don't understand it. Like, I would take Sabonis in his heyday over any player also that's playing right now. It's just, you know, people don't know it. They go, ooh, LeBron, ooh. You know, and Jordan, my God, he didn't make anybody else better. He just shot all the time and made all the baskets, and he looked great. And all right, anyways, let's see. I don't really want to talk about basketball, though. This is my true crime channel, if you don't mind. I'm not even talking to you, B. and Summers. If you make another comment like that, I'm going to remove you. I don't know who the hell you're talking to. I'm not even referencing anything that you're saying. Let's see. I'll try to show some support, but I'm not into I'm not talking about basketball. I'm just somebody brought something up in the chat and I answered it, you know. All right, let's just try to look at all these different okay, there was the other day all of these came out. But you know what I wanted to do first, though? I'm going to do, these are Kohberger documents. I wanted to listen to, I have these two different things. So I'm not going to play them.
Among our flock.
But they're like the interview, I don't know if you guys want to listen to it or not, but it was like an interview with...
If you thought that Bryan Kohberger's...
It's with Ashley Banfield and... I think it's Steve Gonzalez and Olivia. So we're just going to listen to that. Is that cool? You guys want to do that?
Guilty plea.
I mean, you don't need to see their faces. You just listen to it.
He's in his life sentences.
All right. Hey, B and Summers, get out of here. You're just, the show isn't about you, okay? Yeah. God, it's so amazing. I didn't say that at all. Up above, you started cutting down the parent who, you know, it's negligent and all these different comments. So I said exactly what you said. All right? God, these people. My God.
Marked the end
Where do they come
of his
from?
warped
It's
and
unreal.
sadistic story. You're only half right. They ended his real life story, and we can all be thankful for that. But his lifetime story is just beginning. Lifetime,
I'm not sure where the
of
mods
course, is
are. When
the
you see
cable
comments
TV
like that,
network
you should remove them.
famously gave its ripped from the headlines treatment to the Jodi Arias case and to the Amanda Knox case and to the Menendez brothers case. And now they've turned their attention to the Idaho student murders and the monster.
I mean, is there any chance, mods, you can, when you see comments like that, you guys could remove them? I'd appreciate it.
Who committed them. If you are really plugged in, you will know that the role of the murderer, Bryan Kohberger, will be played by the actor Miles Mary, who also appeared in the Lifetime epic Girl in the Shed, the kidnapping of Abby Hernandez. And whether you can or cannot imagine what it must be like for the families of these 4 students to imagine the worst part of their lives will never the slow motion.
I'm just going to move it.
Information comes out and
Let me move it right there.
hi, you think it's over and then something comes out, you know. Yeah, you hear about, you know, your phone starts blowing up and all this new information comes out and you just kind of start searching just like everyone else. And it's shocking every time because you think that it's over, but it just keeps on hitting you.
I mean, I could tell you there is something that I learned today, that the, let's see. You know when he purchased the K-bar knife, etc., he also purchased, what do you call it, the supplements, you know? He bought supplements at the same time, and those are the same supplements that they found in his car. Okay, so that's pretty bad. I mean, that's like incredibly strong circumstantial evidence. You know, that the same supplements that he purchased on Amazon at the same time he bought the K-bar knife and the sheath and the sharpener were in his car. Yeah, I just said that, Marlies. Jesus. My God. All right.
And Olivia, no one knows the shoes you're walking in, right? No one can ever understand what you guys are going through. Everybody processes differently too. Do you find yourself immediately wanting to know what the latest, you know, ungagged information is? Or do you, and you've got 4 children, you're a busy, busy woman.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to get the information as fast as I can. The day that the gag order was lifted, we asked if we could have everything that we could have up front so that we could go through it on our own time, so that we could have time to process that. So yeah, I mean, we're on pins and needles just like everyone else, waiting for that next, drop of information.
What was the reason for them not giving you everything? Did they say they needed to redact it all first? Was there a logical reason?
I think it's mainly the redactions, as well as the prosecutor's office isn't the custodian of many of these documents, right? They're actually owned by Moscow Police Department or the Idaho Police Department. And so the documents that they own, it's my understanding that they're actually held up with the court process, which is going through that very, very lengthy sealing, unsealing, redaction process. That's my understanding.
So as things, begin to drop out, this latest piece of information has sort of come out of nowhere, and it's that a Lifetime movie has been announced. They've hired an actor.
Oh, wow. Really?
And I think the working title is just The Idaho Murders, but it's one of the ripped from the headlines series. Steve, tell me your thoughts. I almost feel like it was inevitable that this was going to happen, but again, nobody walks in your shoes.
It's different, a little bit different because we're used to documentaries, but yeah, this is like a movie, and it's shocking to know that somebody feels the confident that they can just tell your story about your child. And Maddie, her best friend, the same people that you interacted with every day, picking them up from school, taking them to parties and taking them to birthday parties and things, and to have somebody else just tell this story, it doesn't seem real. It seems like somebody's just reaching into your house and stealing your life and putting it on the screen.
As new information comes out about the actual case, there's this information about...
Yeah, but Lifetime makes garbage movies. I think they made one on Jodi Arias, and it was so bad. It was just terrible.
The dramatic version of the case, Lifetime plans to, drop the movie in their ripped from the headlines series. They've even hired the lead actor. No one walks in your shoes again, and I'm just wondering what it's like for you to hear that news.
Yeah, it's really angering, honestly, from my side. My sisters they're not a headline, they're not a Lifetime movie, and I get incredibly frustrated at the scripted aspect of it.
That's
right?
What they look like right there.
We've experienced this in real time, and it's very, very much far from something that is specifically made for an entertainment purpose. I think that's the part that's the hardest for me to get over.
It's so weird. It's weird, like even listening to Lauren, she's being stalked by somebody. Same kind of people that been doing the same kind of shit to me for years. Hey, look at that. Olivia's in there. Yeah, I was just going to say, we cover true crime, and we're not always focused in on like how the families are feeling all the time. But I've communicated with Olivia up there, and you can really tell it's just kind of makes you sort of rethink some stuff sometimes, because we're covering true crime. This is kind of what we do, but I try to do it in a way where it's not like I'm always for the victims and the families, and generally pro law enforcement and stuff, but sometimes they make you angry as well, Okay. Okay.
You reach out
to chat
your
with everybody.
and ask
They'd
for
love
you
to talk to you.
Consultants or part of the process?
Oh, absolutely not. No, we have not been. When you saw the article is when we saw the article. So we didn't have any inside information on that.
I guess the flip side of that is, would you have wanted to be?
Yeah, it's not really that horrible, Juju Bean. I've had 10 times worse to me on my channel. I'm just letting you know. It's like I've had to do many cease and desist letters, and it's just sick people out there.
Just to ensure as much accuracy in your sister's story as possible.
I personally don't want to be a part of anything that's strictly for an entertainment purpose. So while I would have appreciated them reaching out for what that stands for, I wouldn't have taken part in something.
Who's playing the actor, or actress in that? Who's Kohberger? I don't know who they would bring in for that. Nobody looks like Kohberger. Kohberger looks like a creepy... those new photographs that came out recently, he looks like almost made up. Look, it's just a weird-looking humanoid. if you can even call him that. Let's see. Oh, thanks up there, Lisa Belson. Thank you so much. I'm gonna keep playing.
That is a scripted, fictional, dramatic reenactment of our and my sister's real life.
Any chance you would consider legal action? Some people actually sue for life rights if they're not paid for life rights.
I think you want to take that, Olivia?
Yeah, I really don't know. Honestly, like, we're not, very sue happy people, and the benefit of that, I don't really know, because it's almost like whack-a-mole. Like, you get one down and it, 4 others pop up, and it's almost like, where's that line drawn? At this point, we've had how many documentaries, we've had how many books, we've had how many articles. So, while we don't agree with it, I don't know if it's something that we would ever, take legal action over.
Yeah. The other side of the coin is the true story details. You don't even know them all yet, and they keep dropping, like that video that I don't know why I found it so jaw-dropping when I saw the video of the killer hours after his crime, wandering about his day into Costco, out of Costco, into Albertsons, and I was immediately brought to you, and I wondered how you digested that. Steve, what was it like when you saw that?
Creepy to see that guy, the way he walks and moves. It's just unnatural to my eyes. I could see why a lot of girls could pick up on that vibe very quickly. Yeah, it's disturbing to know that was just afterwards, and you want to analyze every action that he did before and after, and yeah, it's hard to watch that.
Olivia, I think so many people on the outside of your story are so perplexed by it, and that doesn't even come close to what I imagine your family is feeling, that how confused you are by how someone could do this. And maybe that's why we're so voracious for every ounce of new detail that might lend us something. And I just wonder, are we getting any further with every little bit that's dropped, even the video, even being able to see him in action? Are we getting closer to understanding this monster?
Yeah, let me put that one on. That's a good one. He wishes he had a split personality so badly. Yeah, because at least one side might have been normal.
I don't think that we're ever going to get closer to why, because I think that the why only makes sense in a psychopathic mind. So I don't want to understand his why personally, because that would make me more like him.
Coward Karen.
But as far as, that human need to, want to satisfy something in yourself that provides comfort, I get it. And personally, I think it's because of the gag order and how restrictive it was and how long lasting it was, that essentially they starved everyone out for information. So now every little piece that comes out is, nitpicked and analyzed and overanalyzed over and over and over, attempting to satisfy that starvation that we've all had for so long.
And yet it's not satisfying, at least not to me.
No. You can sit there and look at that Costco video, and I did, and, the takeaway is what? Is it more answers? Is it more questions? Is it applicable? Is it not? Yeah, it's absolutely creepy.
I think I took away, yes, he's heartless. He has no compunction. He's just done this horrifying thing, and life is, let's get a coffee. But I think, I feel like I already knew that. I just maybe need it reinforced because it can't possibly be true. Like, I guess, Steve, that I keep coming back to my original resolution to this can't possibly be true. Please tell me there's something else. And I don't know that I'm getting there either.
Yeah, when you see that person walking around and the actions that they've done, you want to tell yourself that you'd be able to identify them, that they wouldn't be able to blend in. They wouldn't look like just a normal guy in a grocery store sitting next to you. So when you see it, it just creeps you out and gives you this, okay, this person isn't behaving in a manner that I would expect anyone who'd just done that. And I think that's a lot of the reasons why we all look at that and say,
You know what's weird is the pictures where he's looking at his ass in the like there's like 4 of them. It wasn't just the original ones. I mean, he's sitting there going, "Does my butt look too big in these?" And then he walks around. You remember his comment he made to one of his dates? Like, "You have nice birthing hips." I mean, Kohberger had absolute birthing hips. I tried to throw that in on Court TV. I think it went out, it went out like a lead balloon. But, I mean, the other guy said he looked like Frankenstein, right? And so I said, well, he also had nice birthing hips. You remember that? And then it was basically, if I had this sound effect, I would have played it. Well, he had nice birthing hips. Because that's really what it sounded like in my head, because it, after the show was over, they go, well, that was a little unexpected, but, we didn't cut it. Jeez. I don't know. It wasn't good.
say this just doesn't make sense.
We want to know we can identify the evil that walks among us. And when you look at that, you're
Did they keep it in the episode? I never watched it.
Greeter who brushed up against horror and didn't know it. I felt for the cashier who had no idea who was in front of them. I felt for the people who were just passing right by with bags full of groceries, that they had no idea how close they came to this monster among our flock, Let me ask you about this new report that came out, and Olivia, maybe you can speak to this, that the deal was struck, the plea deal was agreed to by the killer just days after he learned that his sister was going to be on the prosecution's witness list. Did that surprise you? Did it give you insight to anything at all?
No, I don't really believe that causation is correlation there. I think that the plea deal was a long time coming.
Yeah,
I think that probably what had more of an impact on the plea deal being taken was the fact that the alternate perpetrator argument was struck down. They wouldn't be able to take that into the courtroom. So that door closed. They didn't have any more to open up. Time was winding down. I think it had very, very little to do with his sister being on that prosecutor's list.
Yeah, that's almost exactly what I've always said. I think that, I bet you about 2 months into this case, Ann Taylor looked at the evidence. That's why she seems so lazy. Like, how come you haven't seen the videos? She knew. She knew that her client was the killer, and the evidence was so strong at the time, and she knew that there was no alibi, there was no nothing. She knew that her client's DNA is on the knife sheath. She knows that he purchased a K-bar knife on Amazon just months before, blah, blah. It just goes on and on and on. And she was waiting. And she would just keep saying, hey, this isn't looking good, Bryan, but we got these things up our sleeves. And they tried all the different sort of things that lawyers always do to try to get this thing thrown out, this thing thrown out. That wasn't working. The DNA was able to stay in. All these things, and then it came down to the 11th hour, and she goes, we got a few more things. We can maybe try to extend the trial out a little longer by the investigation into the leak. We've got the alternate suspect thing we're going to try, but after that, Bryan, you're going to go to trial, and you're very likely going to be guilty, and because of what you did, you're probably going to get the death penalty. And then they tried those things, and when the judge ruled against them, I think like a week or two later, they go, that's it, Bryan. These are your choices. And he took the option to save his life. I mean, what a pile of shit that guy is. He deserves the death penalty, though. Like, I wish somebody wouldn't. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, but the death penalty does keep you involved for years and years and years. But it for the people who wanted to do that, it sucks that it ended the way it did, but it also, he got the worst possible thing that he could get other than that, right? Because it would be like, this is a scenario that's very possible, that he could have been found guilty, and then one juror goes, well, he's autistic or something, I don't want to do it, and then it was 11-1, and he didn't get the death penalty. And then he'd have appeal after appeal. It just would go on and on and on forever. But this one was as if, it didn't matter that he didn't get the death penalty. He still can't appeal anyway, so he's just sitting in there. So it's like it was about as bad as you could accept from Kohberger, and I know that you can still appeal and do, but they have to be like these egregious sort of constitutional high-level things, right? Right, isn't that? Yeah, right. Like I know, like in there, it's gonna be a nightmare for him. So yeah, maybe it's good, you know. Yeah, so I'm okay with like whatever. I just wish there was a trial so that we could have seen all the evidence laid out. I mean, I'm sure that's exactly what the Gonzalez's would have wanted to see. And apparently, like, they've got to meet with, and get information more recently. So it's that's good stuff. But you still want to see it all, right? And we just want to see it because, we're interested in seeing justice and the process and, get all the information to put the story together, where the families want to do it because they're really seeking, like, I don't know what you call it, justice or retribution to the nut job killer. I mean, he's just a freaking, whenever you just sort of sit around and you think about what happened, it's just disgusting, like there's just people, just normal college students, and one night, without even any knowledge of this guy at all, he just comes in there and he does what he does. I mean, it's just sick. All right, I'm going to keep playing this.
Hey, what do you think the prosecutors thought they were going to get from her?
There's been a long backstory of things that have been suggested that she, I think that there was people believe that she had seen him with a knife personally.
I don't know. Somebody might leak. I don't know if anybody in the public yet has like uncensored crime scene photos. I mean, if they were the way that they've censored them with the blurry amount, if those get leaked out, I don't think you're really, you're not seeing anything really. You can sort of kind of make out some, but it's really, I could see those being leaked, the filtered ones. I think the other ones, depending on what, I don't think the FBI source or whatever, maybe whoever leaked to Dateline, I don't think that they would ever put out those. But maybe somebody on the, defense team or somebody that just doesn't care. I mean, I don't know. That'd be hard to believe, too. I mean, I bet you they didn't even like Kohberger, to be honest with you.
I think that would have been something that would have came up. And talking about the murder weapon predating even moving out here would be very damning to their case. And I don't think they were able to ever give a replacement for what was missing. So the time was running out, and even having his family and all those people, that probably didn't help to remind him that he was cooked and the evidence was there. And he wasn't going to get out to be able to go recover any of those things. His time totally ran out to try to swap one for another.
Steve, I know there are so many people in law enforcement and who are involved,
I guess the only thing that I'm still just angry about is I think that I don't give a damn that the prosecutor thought, well, what he was going to tell us wasn't going to be the truth, so who cares, man? Ask him the damn question. Where did you put the knife? And tell us exactly what you did. And you would know what stuff wasn't true or not. And if he said he threw it in the river, probably isn't even true. But if he said he put it somewhere, then you could go actually find the damn thing. That's a nail in the coffin for any possible future anything. And I just think he should have got that as part of the plea deal. Just, hey, listen, come here. We're going to do this, but you're going to sit here, and the only way we're going to go through it, we want to make sure you're the right person. You just agreeing that you did it. There's a lot of people who do this, Bryan, that falsely confess, man, right? So what we want you to do is tell us what you did to make sure. And if you can't do it, then forget it, okay? And so that's what I think that they should have done. And I don't, some people don't care. I care. I think it sucked that he didn't do that. Totally, yeah. And I just think that part sucks. And I think he let all the families down by not asking for that. I think it was really weak. You know, that's something that it's really bothered me that he didn't do that. I can't come up with an out for him. You know, give him some sort of, hey, you know, well, he was just, no. You taking the plea deal was, you know, sort of like the thing that was, you know, sort of, I mean, I guess the end result, but you should have got the confession, and whatever it said is what it said. Okay? But to sit there and go, well, we didn't ask because, you know, I talked to these forensic people and they said that these guys lied all the time. Who cares, man? God, it just makes me so angry. Anyways.
So in this case, even in an ancillary way, who have so much love and respect for your family and care and concern for you all, and you in particular. Has anyone reached out to you to tell you any information about
so you let him lie.
He's faring now, months after now that he's been locked away? Have you learned anything that, it's hard to say could feel good, but at least might feel like some kind of justice?
Yeah, I have heard that he isn't doing so well in that prison system that he's in the block that he's at. He's very adamant that he has rights in there that need to be respected. And I think he's starting to learn that, you know, you picked the Northwest, you picked Idaho, you picked a place where we don't spend a lot of money on people that we throw the key away on. So, you know, you pick their state, now you got to live it. You don't do the crime if you can't do the time. And he's going to be doing the time. And I've been hearing a lot about how the amount of noise that he's making in there isn't doing him any favors.
That was funny. Olivia, on the video, she started smiling when he was saying that. Yeah, I have closed caption on my shows. They just show up later, you know. Like, I can't really do it live, you know, where they pop up on the screen. You have to have your show like a minute behind to have that. And I'm kind of nervous about closed caption. I mean, you could be saying something else and then it says something on the screen that you didn't say, you know. I mean, I think after they process it, it does pretty good. But hey, guys, if you're out there, do you want to help support the channel? That would be awesome. We're having one of those massive lulls again. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Oh, yeah, and then there was another one with just Olivia and Enton. I thought we'd just listen to that one, too. And comment as we go.
So there's not really positivity there.
But, you know, this is them on the screen right there. I'm not sure why Brian Enton looks like that, but...
And I don't even want to say that there's closure.
Yeah, late night, probably.
But I do think that it helped me immensely to be able to have these pieces put together for me to help me make sense and understand what happened in my head.
Were they able to tell you any more about, I guess, like one of the questions I...
hold on, let me start at the beginning.
Every single year,
sorry.
When the seasons...
Her parents...
Changing is hard, then the daylight savings is really, really hard. And then kind of inching up to that date. And it was just a really, really heavy year and kind of took a lot emotionally from us because it was a lot of preparatory work to get to trial, just for it to go to plea deal so quickly. And then everything after that just happened.
Thanks, Tim.
You know, so fast. So there's a little bit of a whiplash aspect. And then just a lot of, you know, almost the come down from this, you know, emotional hardening I almost had to do to kind of prepare myself for trial. But overall, we're doing okay. You know, we've taken some next steps. Kaylee and Maddie are in their forever urns now, which was a huge step that we hadn't been able to do before. And we're finally able to kind of try to get some of those answers that we've been craving and put together, you know, this picture, you know, this story in our minds, and hopefully, you know, be able to make some sense of what happened because we were locked out of that information for so long.
Yeah, and I had dinner with your parents the other night when I was in Idaho, and they mentioned to me, "Oh, Olivia is going to meet with the prosecutor." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And they were like, "Yeah, she's going by herself." I'm like, "She's going
Oh,
by
wow,
herself?
okay.
Like that's
Huh.
so intense." So I know you flew to Idaho. I mean, what was that like?
Yeah, so that was October 6th. And I, I,
Pretty
I
recent.
love my parents, but I am an adult too. And it's difficult for me to kind of be a grieving sister in the room with them because I let their grief
I
overshadow
think he's been
me,
in the house
right?
too.
They're grieving parents. They've lost a daughter. I hope to God I never know what that feels like.
You know what I think, Olivia? I think that he would go there sometimes on probably Friday or Saturday night, and he'd get there around 10 because that's the time that people go out to go party, and he would sit in that back and he'd watch them get dressed and everything, and whatever he would do back there, and then he'd see that they all left the house, by 10 or 11, and I think he probably went in that house on a couple of occasions at least and walked around inside there. And then he could just say, "Oh, I thought there was a party." You could say anything in college like that. I think that's what he'd do. "Hey, thanks, Christine, and welcome, just one." I think that might be what he was doing. Like he would wait, because that's exactly the nights where everybody goes to parties. If you go there on a Tuesday or Wednesday, you're not going to be able to go into the house because people are there. I mean, you could probably practice and sneak around if you wanted to, but you could literally go in there and really walk around and get just a really good sense of the house by doing that. Yeah, remember when they had those photos? Yeah, they had on Zillow. I think those might be gone now. And there was that 3D, like a 3D walkthrough thing, 360-degree walkthrough, but they got rid of that one too. I don't know why.
But sometimes it makes it difficult for me to find a place in the room. So it was important for me to be able to,
Oh, cool. Yeah, I used to do those too.
kind of be able to.
I used to do, I was a videographer and I'd do these video walkthroughs. Like I'd have the appraiser and she'd be saying, "Now this is a beautiful home right here listed at, blah, blah, blah." And then she'd go, "Come on in." And then we had like this whole thing skidded out. And then she'd walk in and then we go to each of the rooms with my camera, and then I'd make the video and then she'd upload it. This was back, video stuff like 20 years ago.
Dictate and to get answers that I'm really looking for. Not help my dad or help my mom, or play this like
Thanks, Christine.
weird median that I would often play in these prosecutor meetings. So yeah, I met with members of the prosecution team and a member of the Moscow Police Department who was an investigator, as well as the Idaho State Police, an investigator from the Idaho State Police.
And so you just went by yourself?
Yeah, sorry, I'm shaking. Yeah, I went by myself. I had my attorney there. She's a local Latah attorney, and who was just kind of helping me with the documents as they're coming out to be able to make sure that we all get those. But yeah, it was a really traumatizing meeting. But it was a necessary step for me to be able to basically be hurt behind closed doors so that I could manage my expectations going forward. Yeah, I'm not sure if I totally answered you there. I'm sorry.
No, you did. So is it just, I'm just trying to like, I guess, visualize it. Do you just go into like a conference room and it's you and then Bill Thompson and Idaho State Police just all sitting there basically?
Yeah, so when you went in there, did they have like folders and stuff that they were prepared to already show you, or did they have to send people out and bring something back in, something like that?
Basically?
Yeah. So it was a conference room at the Idaho State Police District 2 quarters in
I haven't
Lewiston,
listened to this
Idaho.
yet.
I drove down early in the morning from my parents' house in Rathdrum, Idaho. And there's, me on one side of the table and them on the other.
Box and a laptop.
And I really wanted it to be an open-ended conversation where the investigators were kind of able to provide me how it kind of unfolded for them, because I've never really gotten their opinions.
Hey, how did this come about? Did you have to like call a bunch of times and all that kind of stuff? Like, did you have to, did you call them and say, hey, I'd like to set up an appointment? Oh, you're taking off? Okay. Or is that person's name Goodnight? I don't remember. I don't remember. It took weeks to get a date. Okay. Huh. Yeah, at least they did some. When I asked, I wanted to have Bill Thompson on. They were like, he's kind of got a, pretty tough schedule here and all these other. You mean he wants to be on CBS News, ABC, those kind of people, right? Not somebody who would actually ask you questions because they know the case almost as well as you do. You know what I mean? Like, I actually know all the little things. He doesn't even, when he went and did that thing in front of the cameras after the sentencing, I think it was, he didn't even say it right. It was wild. He didn't have the right order and stuff like that. It's not newsworthy. Okay, jeez.
I've never really heard their thoughts on it. I've never, really humanized them in a way to understand what it looked like for them, because this was their life day in and day out for, 7 weeks and then after. And yeah, it was nice to hear that real human aspect of them and, kind of what it looked like from the inside out, because I had only had the perspective of being on the outside.
Were you able to get any of your questions answered?
Yeah. A lot of the questions that I had were answered.
So it's pretty cathartic for you, it seems like. At least you finally got to sit there and just kind of talk, and basically almost like it was a trial and you got all the information. And that's pretty cool.
Doesn't mean that more won't come up as more comes out, but
yeah. Did they leave it up where you could still ask questions later? Like, if you have any questions, give me a call or something like that? Yeah, that was cool that they let you do that.
I was very satisfied at the end of the meeting with, as satisfied as you can be. We're not talking about, a recipe here. At the end of the day, it's still murder. And it's still the death of, my sister.
They almost always are.
There's not really positivity
It's amazing
there.
How cool they are in person.
And I don't even want to say that there's closure, but I do think that it helped me immensely to be able to have these pieces put together for me to help me make sense and understand what happened in my head.
Were they able to tell you any more about...
Like in the Delphi case, I've met with, let's see. Well, I thought recipe kind of made sense there. But in the Delphi case, I met with, Jerry Holman, the head investigator, and I've met with the prosecutor originally. And every time when you meet them, they're awesome. They're awesome people. It's weird how it's sort of, you have a different perspective when you don't really ever speak to them. You might see them, but as soon as you actually talk to them, you'll realize that they're pretty good people. That doesn't mean that even if I had met Bill Thompson, I still think no matter what, he should have been asking Kohberger what the hell he did and everything. I don't really, whether or not he was cool or not,
I guess one of the questions I've always just still had and still think about is motive and why those kids, why that house. Were there any, I don't want to say theories, but
Thanks, Justice and Marilise.
Did they have any more insight into that?
So not necessarily, and maybe it's because the why it's never kept me up at night. I've never cared about the why. So that wasn't really something that I pushed them for.
How did he not know to just ask the question, though? You know, like, hey, okay, tell us what the, you know what I mean? I mean, I understand not being mad. It's just like, dude, get the freaking, sit down and record what he says. You know? Maybe that causes legal issues, though, you know, in the future. Let's say he says a bunch of stuff that isn't true and provably untrue. And then later on you go, well, look, you've documented that he didn't, this is a false confession, everybody. Maybe that's why you might not want to do that. I totally agree, Olivia. I think it was already done. I think he'd been working with Ann Taylor for months. I think that they had these little kind of quiet conversations that maybe nobody's even aware about, where they were talking about this, thinking, you know, that they knew what the reality was, and you know, it's just up to Kohberger to accept it, and then finally when he accepted it, that's when it happened. You know what I mean? Yeah, it could be like that. I mean, it could just be that early, but I think it might have been even before that they'd started talking about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about Ann Taylor and Bill Thompson. Like, they probably had these little conversations about, you know, a plea deal, you know what I mean? Just something like that, just talking about it, and then it started to snowball a little bit, or probably right around the time that you just mentioned in June. Then maybe the parents got involved, and it just sort of got bigger and bigger and bigger. Hey, thanks, Karen Messenger, for gifting 5 memberships. Hey, you should make yourself available for memberships. Olivia, you can be a freak for a little bit. If you want to be a freak. I mean, I don't know. I mean, people don't go, hey, I'm a freak, everybody. What are you talking about? Well, a true crime freak on Grant Hughes Investigates.
I will say, when you look at the CAS data and the 23 different occasions that he was at the house, they don't all line up with just one person. So it's not like he was only ever there when, you know, Kaylee was.
He was just there.
They're very random and they're very sporadic, which to me made more sense, because I was always confused when they said someone was targeted, then maybe the house was targeted, then no, someone was targeted. And it almost made more sense to me knowing this, thinking maybe it really was the location, right? Maybe it really was more of a
I think he picked that house and he got obsessed with the, I think, you know, it could be either Kaylee or Madison, I guess, in the back, and he just kept showing up, and he was obsessed with it. You know, you got to think about it like this. You know that little route that goes behind the apartment complex? That goes be the apartment complex there? I think that he had to have been there multiple times to even know that existed, to do that. Because why would you ever drive around there? Okay, there's a house right there. Why would you think of driving to the left down that little narrow chute when you wouldn't even have a clue that it would go around and, ooh, kind of winds up back there? You know, I think that alone means something. Here, like right here, look. See, he's right here on this street. Why? And the house is right there, was right there. Let me go back a little bit to maybe here. See, there it is. And he's right there. But what would ever make you drive all the way around over here? You know, and then he goes over here, and then it turns out where this little tiny narrow thing shoots around over here, and then he can park back there. I mean, wouldn't you originally just be driving like this and then pull in, and then maybe eventually decided? So that means he'd been there many times, in my opinion, to figure out this whole area, and he had it all just dialed in, you know. He would drive around on those loops that he did that night, and he would park right there, I think, right in this area, and he would look and wait and watch. And there was still light maybe going on. If you remember, You know, Kaylee and Madison were trying to get a hold of Jack. You know, that was more like right around like 2:50 something. You know, but they might have still been awake with cell phones or whatever. And he kept driving around. He just couldn't wait any longer, and he had to get in there. I know, isn't that crazy? 23 freaking times he's been there. That's just insane. But here's the thing. Let me ask you something. So with the 23 times, were they able to tell you that he was right there within the 100 meters that we kept hearing? Or was it just he utilized the same tower? Do they have him like right there? Do you have that information? I'd love to have that if you have it. Because that'd be interesting. So they do. They have him right there within 100 meters. Wow. Okay. See, that's huge. See, we didn't know. I mean, because we heard it one time, but none of the documents ever said that. The documents always said that he utilized the same tower or the same resources. So if they have him within 100 meters, but as a matter of fact, that's what this is right here. See this little circle? You guys? I mean, just randomly, that happens to be up right here. This circle is 100 meters. So that means he's inside of this circle 23 times. And what's right in the middle of the circle? Well, that's the 1122 King Road. So that, I guarantee you he was right inside here. And look at the only way inside the circle is King Road right there, Queen, and I think they might call this Queen here too. But that's it. It's right there. So, I mean, that would have been huge at trial. Also, no alibi in the circle. No. Oh, I see. Yeah. I'm glad you didn't say gray. You know, you would have created a conspiracy there. Although people do call me Greg and Gary. My diploma from college had Gary on it. Yeah. Hey, thanks, college. I was spelling my name wrong all those years. I thank you for helping me spell it right at the end. And you're still graduating me. All right, let me play this. That's a cool piece of information to actually know right now. All right. We actually finally have an answer to that question. Better than aloe vera, yeah. Well, your name isn't spelled how Olivia normally is spelled. I think it's normally spelled like your brother's fiance, right? Like with an O in it. Although yours is more like Olivia, right? Not Olivia. I'm going to start calling you aloe vera from now on, though. Specifically because earlier I said I didn't have an iPhone, and her image of me dropped dramatically. It was like, it just was, you don't have a freaking iPhone? Wow, you're a loser, man. Let's see. His sister never turned him in. That's debunked. Okay, that never happened. Interesting. Well, I mean, what about the sister saying to the dad? I don't remember ever hearing that the sister turned him in, but what about the sister saying to the dad something to the effect of, like, hey, this is weird. I mean, he drives a white Elantra and they went and checked his car. How about that? Is that true at all? Or is it just none of that stuff true whatsoever related to the family? You don't know? Okay. Because it sounds like the sister was going to be on the prosecution witness list, which is sort of interesting.
Specific, that became a specific because we know that he went directly to the third floor. But maybe it was more so just, a vantage point, looking out, inside from the out that he found particularly interesting or something. But again, that why it's never bothered me. For me, I've always known that the why would never make sense.
So what were you?
I don't have I'm not on my system where I can add somebody to the show. And I didn't, I just wanted to hang out with you guys. I didn't, she just showed up on her own randomly. I was going to ask her if she wanted to come over, but, yeah, don't, just don't worry about it.
Well,
See, I've never asked her to be on my show or anything. That's just because, she's already on all these other shows, and it's like, wouldn't it be great to not have to be, I'm on a show again. I got to be on a show. Plus, look at that. She's got spaghetti sauce on her face, and she's in her PJs, all right? So that's not going to work.
what were you hoping to get out of the meeting, I guess? Like, was there something specific?
Yeah, so there was a couple things. I wanted to take a look at the complete surveillance footage that was put together that showed his movements from, a little after 3 a.m. to, 4:20, 4:30. And that's extremely comprehensive when you see that as a full picture of the car being here, then here, then here, tracking those movements. I wanted to see the cast report and these 23 different occasions,
So can you I don't know how quickly you could do it, but on the cast report, was it just like it could just keep pinpointing? Because on his way back home, they had him going through these weird roads on the probable cause document. Did it make more sense the way they showed it to you? If somebody says, "Is that Olivia?" Yeah, she's right there.
When did they start? When did they stop? Are we talking about, he was outside for 4 minutes, or are we talking about he was outside for 4 hours? And then something that really, really was something.
Oh, the speaking is Olivia, the same person in the chat right there. She's on. It's right here. Well, I don't want to pause it on that shot.
That was different.
Okay, that one's better. But right there. See, there you go. Like that. Right there. All right.
Difficult for me to process was the thought of the crime scene photos leaking. So we know that there is a leak somewhere. I think it's still currently being investigated. And I basically left it up to them. And I told them.
So the leak that you're talking about, is that the leak that, led to the Dateline episode and all that? Is that it? Or is there something else that you're aware of that's happening?
If you're confident that these photos are safe, I don't need to see anything. But if you think that there's a chance that they will leak, let me hurt myself with them right here, right now, so that I can, continue.
Yeah, so what she's talking about right now is Bill Thompson said that they could not promise that there wouldn't be a leak of the crime scene photos. So she said, it was probably a really tough decision, but she wanted to see the crime scene photos of Kaylee in this meeting that she had with Bill Thompson. And just to sort of she's seen them, and if they ever come out, it won't be as shocking. It'll just be angry, You'll be angry at somebody, but there won't be the shock of it. It makes sense, but there's something to be said too. Like when my brother died, he wasn't wounded. He died from some heart issue when he was 22 years old. And, I saw him in there when he wasn't alive. And even that, sometimes I wish I was more like my brother, who never saw him at all, just knew that he passed away. And, that the only memories he has are ones that are positive, right? But I have memory of putting my hand through his hair, looking at him, his lips are sort of purpley, it's like it sucked. It just sucks, so you have that in your mind. But in her case, it's worse than that, right? So you're looking at somebody who was viciously killed by a psycho, and, But I understand if they're going to be out there someday, it's better to have seen them already than to just see them for the first time out there and be shocked by them. So I get it, you know. I'll never understand, you know, having somebody that's been murdered and then somebody who dies. I think there's a pretty big gap there in terms of like how you're feeling about it. It still, you know, really makes you feel down, but I think it's a lot different. But you know, that's one of those crappy. I think it was a pretty decent decision.
To function, because it's really, really difficult for me, particularly, to live and maneuver in a world when I know that there's information out there that could hurt me that I just don't have access to. So those were my three main.
Hey, let's see if you guys can do 16 more gifted channel memberships. That'd be good. Thanks, guys.
Pieces of information that I was wanting to look at.
So what did they say to you when you said, you know, if you think there's a chance that these photos would leak, you know, I want to see them? Like, what did they say?
I don't think that with certainty they could say that they wouldn't leak. So ultimately I did wind up viewing one photo of the scene of Maddie's bedroom. Maddie was completely redacted. They offered more, but I truly didn't need to see more than the one. And it was ultimately Bill Thompson who provided that piece of saying that he couldn't guarantee that they wouldn't leak, because he's not sure exactly who from the defense's side had access to them. So if he was the only one and his team, he would have been very, very confident that they'd never get out. But that unknown made him hesitant to, you know, have the confidence that they wouldn't, you know, leak eventually. Not that I think he's saying that they will leak. I think just in an overabundance of caution, especially considering I was there in that moment, ready, had prepared myself to see this. So yeah.
I guess I'm just keep thinking about you like alone there. You know, I'm so used to seeing you with your family. But I know there's certain things, I mean, I can't relate to this in any way. Like, I can't even imagine. But there are like certain things in life I feel like you just want to do alone. Like, that you need to process alone just as like a single human being. You know what I mean? Like, was it like that kind of a thing?
Yeah. And I mean,
Are you still out there? Did they leave you alone when you were doing that, or was Bill Thompson next to you while you were looking at that? Pebs W still out there? You left my channel. And you got a free membership. That's a little weird, isn't it?
my mom and dad won't even look at the photos that the city of Moscow released, months ago. That batch of 182. So we are just very, very different in that aspect where.
Hey, thanks. They have a different name, Angie Hart, but it's usually something else. And Tammy McDonald and Aaron for gifting those memberships to people.
I kind of play this role with my mom mainly, where I can take the information
Romeo's
and I
Heart,
can process it, and then she gets to come to me and just kind of pick what she wants to hear about. And so in that capacity, I guess I kind of need to have that information to be able to help, my mom or my sisters or my, brother or anything if they ever need it.
It's probably hard for Olivia just to even hear this whole portion about, doing that, Because then you sort of remember what you saw when you're talking about it.
My understanding of the full picture, as completely
Thanks, Tina.
as I could make it, and I guess that I'd rather be the one that is hurt by it, so that I can, spare them from that while still being like a source of truth about it. I'm never gonna lead them astray but just be able to give specific details that they want to hear about, and nothing more, nothing less.
What was it like with Bill Thompson? Just because I know, you've obviously been frustrated with the prosecution in the past, and we're not pleased with the way things sort of ended with the plea deal. What was it like, sitting at a table with him?
I have no bad blood with Bill Thompson. I do truly think that he did his best. And I think in his heart, he thought what he was doing was
Right.
the most good for the most amount of people who were affected by this.
Yeah, that's exactly. I think I said the same thing on the show. I think he. I mean, here's the thing: is it fair if people want to have a trial, and they want to spend the next 30 years with the whole process, or if you have ability to do a plea deal and just get it done, and then you can move on with your life and start living again at some point. It might take a few years, but at least you'll be able to live again. It's different. Like if you have a missing person in your family, you never really get to live normally ever again, because every single day you're in limbo. If you're, especially if you have a person like a child that's missing and presumed murdered or something, that's like the worst case scenario. But this one, you had somebody plead guilty, and it's done, and and it sounds like they're getting some answers here. So maybe in some ways it's sort of just the best outcome for everybody. Just when you saw Madison Mogen's parent, I guess dad and mother, they were just absolutely. I think they're too fragile. Just really wouldn't be able to deal with it all those years. That was their only child, So.
Great, thank you sharing this interview. Olivia, thank you for being here. Red heart emoji, folded hands emoji, folded hands emoji.
Yeah, well, it's actually Brian Enton's video or interview. I'm just kind of reviewing the audio of it. It's pretty, it's interesting. And it was really interesting what Olivia just said a minute ago, is that finally we have actual truth. So that really shows you that there was a leak. Because she had the information that the 23 times was within 100 meters. That's pretty, we didn't know that for certain. We kept hearing that in documentaries, but the files said it utilized the same cell tower resources as 1122 King Road, not 100 meters. 100 meters is a big difference. Now you're right there. There's no other, like she said, there's no alibi of why he would be there. He had no friends in the area. He's sitting there right here. Right there. Every time, I think. There might have been times we went back here, but I just think he was right there. He's a nut job.
I think he knew that it would hurt us to take a plea deal, but I think that he deemed that unnecessary evil in order to provide good for, a lot of people who are affected by this. We can't just think about the families of the four. We're also talking about, witnesses. We're also talking about, court staff, jurors. We're changing jurors' lives by having to show them this information. So I truly think that he did what he thought was best. It wasn't good enough for us, but I'm not really sure that anything would have ever been good enough for us without getting him back. So he was fairly quiet. But it wasn't awkward or anything.
Yeah, you know what my favorite line that she said was? The truth is, you're as dumb as they come. That was the best, man. You're as dumb as they come. The way she said that, it was so good.
I think that he has eventually come around to terms to kind of respect that, you know, we might just kind of be abrasive, but we're not heartless. You know, we're not mean. And, you know, I wasn't there to pick a fight by any means.
So when you left, like, what did that feel like?
Hey, thanks. Romeo's heart, right? Isn't that you? Now it says Angie's heart. Hey, and thanks, Chris O'Connell. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. 70 months. You're right up there with Linda Howell on that one. Right? Where are you, Linda Howell? Are you out there? You got Run for Your Money right there. 70 months right there. I think Zozo's right there as well. Yeah, I like that part too. Like, yeah, that's one of my favorite parts too, when she said, sit up. Now sit up. like he's a student in a class, because she's going to school him right now.
So initially it felt, I felt a little bit of relief, I think, just because it was done and it had kind of been something that I had, once again, mentally prepared for, right? And then you get to the other side of it, and now, it's done and it's over, and you're excited to move on to, the next, okay? Forward movement, but fairly quickly.
But great. Love you too.
After this one, in the next, day or two, you're really just hit with the weight and the gravity. And you're left with, me personally.
Yeah, sorry to hear that there, Tina. That sucks. There's no internet. Yeah.
I was left with more questions that I know don't have answers. Like, for example, why? And not why in the motive sense, but what? What were you even thinking? And I know that sounds so small, but they're, again, very specific questions that I know don't have answers. And, I'm kind of sitting here 10 days later, still greatly struggling with, the full weight of what Kaylee, just Kaylee, I didn't see anyone else, but just Kaylee had to go through.
Yeah, and I think just from what I know of you, you're just always searching for answers. You don't really give up. You're just
right.
You keep going. You know what I mean? Your dad is like that too. So maybe finding out.
I told her she's like Sigourney Weaver in Aliens. She could just, right? I mean, that's exactly right. Sigourney Weaver in Aliens, where, remember she said something like, when she was working the loader, and she said, I can handle myself. And then the sergeant and the other guy, they said, I noticed. Let's see.
That you're never going to get certain answers. I would imagine that must have been hard,
Yeah, it's definitely
crazy. 70 months.
Hard. Especially when I am a very answer-based person, right? I have this question, 99% of the time I can get the answer. It might take some work, but I can get there. It's difficult knowing that there's a lot of really painful unknowns, and you either have to let them go, which I'm never going to do, or you have to keep digging for more information until my brain can process, or create an inference to be able to answer those questions for me.
Yeah. Would you, a lot of the questions, I think, you know, the killer is the only one who knows. Like, would you ever want information from him?
Not in like the way of like, a book, or not in the way of like him doing like,
If I did it.
a news interview or anything like that. So I guess the answer then is no, because he doesn't really have many other options. I will continue to go back to, I think that a full confession should have been included as an agreement
Oh, there you go.
or a condition of the plea agreement. And that is...
That's right. I totally agree with that. I mean, here's the thing. It's okay not... I mean, I don't, like, hate Bill Thompson or something. I just think that was something that absolutely should have been required. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm saying. I thought it was sort of weak that he didn't do that. But who the hell knows? I don't know him. I don't know what he was thinking or anything. One thing I can tell you is we're never going to get to have a trial or anything. So we just got to make do with what we get, with the documents that are being put out and things like that. Put it together. I'm still ordering different things. I just ordered some more stuff today. We'll just see how it all plays out. But it's just, we're going to have to try to put the pieces of the puzzle together after the fact. You know what I think the prosecution should just do right now? So now that they've spoke to Olivia, and why don't they just do this for the public? Like literally have a thing where they sit there and they answer the questions. Kohberger is done. There's no appeals. There's no nothing. Just sit down and have like a press conference for like 5 hours, for God's sakes. Even if you have to take a lunch break. And you just answer every single question and literally present the crucial elements of the case. The cast data, the DNA on the knife sheath, and just go through the whole thing and just get it over with. I tell you what, I wouldn't even care anymore about having anything, videos or anything, if they just did something like that. So they're sort of prolonging all of this by not just doing that. And they're also doing something that's really pretty ridiculous is, you know how the prosecution has the entire exhibit list. They have all of the exhibits. They have it all. But what they did was tell everybody that wherever it came from, you have to request it from the original source of the exhibit. And then when you get a hold of the original sources of the exhibit, they say, we don't have them anymore. We don't store those things. And it's like, well, it exists because the prosecution has them. It's frustrating as hell. So really, the prosecution has every single thing that anybody would want to see, and they should do a press conference where they go over the whole thing and then allow like 2 hours of questions after that. Like a whole day, just start from the beginning and end it at the end of the day. Don't you agree? I mean, why wouldn't that be something that it would actually probably stop a lot of the crap too that's out there.
That is something that, in this case,
I don't know, mock trial gets kind of goofy.
And I believe should have happened.
I don't think
but it's just one of those that we have to let go.
But thanks, Romeo's Heart.
Go back.
That was very kind.
So, yeah, I think a lot of those answers would have been great.
It didn't do
the... I don't think that the juice is worth the squeeze.
Yeah. And I know there was a gag order and all sorts of rules, but it also makes me wonder, like, if you could have had this sort of relationship with the prosecutor and the police earlier on and these kinds of conversations.
She has so many little, like, one-liners like that. The juice wasn't worth the squeeze. When I said I didn't have an iPhone, she said... and I said, well, I was thinking about it. I'll let you know. And she said, what would fill your hand more? Spit? Or what was the other term? I can't remember, but it was like, now I can't even remember the damn line, but it was good at the time. I remember it made sense. or your thoughts. That's what it was. Spit or your thoughts. What would fill your hand more?
Would you have understood each other better,
Oh,
before all
absolutely.
this came to an end? Would it probably been nice to have that during?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that in, those last 8-9 months leading up to trial, I think we were getting there finally. But yeah, it's difficult when the conversation's always the same, and it's always us frustrated with the lack of information, us trying to make sense of it, them sticking to the gag order.
Hey, so here's the thing. Now we're at a point, if you guys do 12 more memberships from now, I'll donate 5 myself. There you go. So now we're at a place, we got there with Romeo's Heart, where I feel like I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So we need, what did I say? I think it's 12. Yeah, 12 more.
Order, getting frustrated that we're still pushing it, that we're still asking these questions, and the material is inherently frustrating, right? But so it takes a while to get to a point where I understand Bill Thompson a little bit more, and maybe he understands me a little bit more. It would have been great if from the beginning there wasn't the gag order, or there was some way that we could have had more information or candid conversation throughout with them. But that's just not how this cookie crumbled for us,
Yeah. Something else I was thinking about, because I don't think I've talked to you since this stuff came out, with Washington State University, like there were all these, public reports that are out now of women who were afraid of Bryan Kohberger, people who worked with him at the university, like other, doctoral students, that kind of thing. And
Hey, Shanna, thanks so much for the Cash App. That was very kind.
I'd talked to like a couple of people before, and I talked to some people in Pennsylvania, women who had stories about him, but I guess I didn't realize how widespread it was until all of those reports were released. Like I had no
Just
idea
funny.
that it was so many women. Did that come as a surprise to you too?
Yeah. It didn't come as a surprise to me necessarily that he wasn't well liked or that he did not integrate well, but it came as a surprise to me to hear that there were so many formal complaints. Because for me, my next question when I see that is, damn, and how many informal complaints were there?
Yeah, I think that's something we were noticing too when we were going through those documents. How many people were concerned about Kohberger? All these different women that were sending in complaints. That's what we were talking about. We none of us realized. That's what we even mentioned, that it was that bad. Here's what I'll tell you though, and I said it back then. If Kohberger had told everybody at the beginning when he was there, if he said I'm autistic, they would have perceived him totally different. I think they would have, not totally differently, but they would have, the creepiness would have been excused a little bit. And they probably wouldn't have turned in a complaint and those kind of things. Had he used that as a sort of a get out of jail free card, if you will, I think they would have treated him. You know how those schools are, especially in that kind of department, like flowery kind of. I just think they would have treated him totally differently at that point. Yeah, hit that like button, you guys. Hit that like button.
Right? How many, women or men, it seems like specifically more geared towards women, just had a bad experience and just didn't report it, because that happens way more often than an actual formal report. So it's actually insane that his behavior was so comically bad that he couldn't even.
Thanks, Aaron.
He couldn't even get through a month of
You have my same last name.
To be like a normal human being without being wildly inappropriate and offensive and literally just giving the vibe, like how many people in those documents said that he would spatially trap them? That's not a normal behavior. How many people, you know, what was the term that they used when they would say he would like basically held them hostage in a conversation? You know, like these aren't normal behaviors. And like he couldn't even fake it for a month. Like, what a joke, dude. Like, yikes.
Well, I was just thinking about too, like the women who thought they saw him outside their like apartments and stuff. You know, I mean, like that's really scary.
Right. Where it's like, and it sucks because this is a little weird, but like the law is so written that there's not much proactively that you can do. Everything is reactive, right? So those people could have gone to the police and said, I think that, you know, defendant or, you know, inmate 163214 was outside my apartment last night. And I guarantee you, nothing would have happened to him. Even if they had investigated him, even if they had questioned him, nothing would have happened to him. Because it's not illegal to stand outside someone's house, right? Like, so it's just so awful that the laws are written, especially around stalking, and especially around, you know, creepy behavior, that they're so reactive instead of being proactive. Yeah, just insane to me that it takes.
Look at this. What an idiot. Look at this really inept troll that showed up in here. Gray is a butt breath doofus. Gray. I don't like Gray. He is a butt breath. My God, work on your cut downs a little bit, you loser. My God, that's all you got? Jesus, I mean, come up with something that's sort of mildly funny or something. Whew. Wow.
Something physical happening before.
It's embarrassing, man.
Honestly, even
I gotta tell you, that is the absolute worst troll comment that I've ever seen, because it's so just like a little 2-year-old shows up. My daddy could beat up your daddy. You know that, Gray? Whew. Wow. My God. Go back to troll school. You are just a pile of crap. Did you now watch? Did you did you see how mean Gray was to his chat? Okay. That's right.
Reports that came out. Did they give you, when you had your meeting, did they give you any indication, like, is there a lot more to come, or is it sort of like, you know, most of everything's been released at this point, or do you sort of have to be on guard for more?
Yeah, I think that there's still quite a bit more. So I know from the city of Moscow that they said it's going to be months before everything comes out. I mean, at the pace that the courts are going, it's going to be...
We still need those 12 memberships for the donation of 5, you guys.
Years. You know, I guess we're sitting 3 months out, and we've gotten, 17 documents? So that's a very, very slow snail pace there. We haven't really seen anything out of Pennsylvania. We haven't seen anything out of the FBI. So I know that there's still more. I don't know how substantial that more is going to be or not.
What did you think about, so, you know, yeah, you mentioned like stuff slowly coming out and the judge is unsealing documents too. And some of the more recent ones are like the witness lists for the defense and the prosecution. And there's a bunch of headlines about this. People have written about it, but Bryan Kohberger's sister was on the prosecution list.
Yeah.
I mean, did that surprise you? Do you know did they say anything about that? Like what she may have been, I don't know why that was.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Somewhere along the line, I asked about it, and this was before the gag order was even lifted, and I didn't ask for specifics, but they didn't give me her name at the time. Just that it was in regards to one of the sisters having knowledge or having seen him with the weapon.
What the heck, Lisa Belson? Man, you're so kind. Jeez. What happened? Let's see. Sit up straight and give us a better insult. Right. I mean, you got to admit, like that was the worst insult ever. Gray, you're a butterfinger meanie. What the hell does that even mean? You just wow
itself, because the knife that he bought on, you know, his parents' Amazon account. So that doesn't really surprise me.
You guys are all really, I got to tell you guys, I really appreciate all of you guys' support for my channel. So it allows us to do all the great stuff that we do. At the end of the month, we usually give thousands of dollars away to various true crime related charities. It allows me to keep doing the stuff that I do. You know, I feel like the traveling, you know, like I should go more often to, if it's, you know, within 1,000 miles of myself, you know, go to some of these crime locations that are the bigger ones that we're doing. You know, it just, so, you know, that kind of stuff, it allows me to do that, buy my different systems and all kinds of stuff. So thank you guys, really appreciate it. When your insults get knocked down by a gray as not being snarky enough. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, when an insult's so bad that you actually laugh at it, that's not, that means you didn't do too good, you know? And thanks again, Lisa Belson. And thanks all of you guys for, you know. And any amount helps when you guys are supporting the channel. So I know that for some people, $50 is the same as 5, you know, or vice versa. You know, it's just, so I really appreciate it. But what I don't want is people where it affects your life. I don't want you to, like, oh my God, like you can't buy groceries or something, you know. Just keep it.
When your insults get knocked down by Gray as not being snarky enough. LMATO.
You know what sucks, you guys? I feel dumb. I was watching, let's see, Zombieland. I think that movie's awesome. I love that movie. Zombieland with Woody Harrelson, and he was really into Twinkies, so I bought a Twinkie and I ate it. Man, those things are pretty good. I think I forgot that they were good, though. You know? It's pretty good stuff. But yeah, that movie's hilarious. I mean, it's just the whole Bill Murray thing. They didn't even feel that bad, really, after killing Bill Murray. They were just like, oh, wow, he wasn't a zombie. He was pretending to be a zombie, and you... Yeah, but Twinkies are pretty good. I mean, if you stop by one tomorrow, just take it out, eat it, and go, you know what? Those things were pretty good. Oh, I love The Walking Dead. Yeah. Started to get kind of not quite as good. Like, after they killed everyone, Negan started beating their brains in. I watched all this years, you know. Some of the years were better after that, but I don't know. I think that was too much. Like, that was sort of like, wasn't really a good thing. It was too depressing.
Especially because I didn't really see anywhere that the defense was trying to argue that he didn't own the knife, that he didn't purchase it. They tried to say that his click history shouldn't be included because... Getting off track, I apologize.
No,
but it didn't really surprise me seeing her on that list.
Yeah, I guess it didn't surprise me either. I wondered if they were going to use, you know, her to say like, oh, because I think they shared an Amazon account. So like maybe to narrow down, like, you're not the one who ordered these things, you know, to kind of like process of elimination kind of thing. But I'm not really sure.
And I mean, I'll also even say too, I'm not even sure that was entirely needed, because when he purchased the knife, what he actually did is on his debit card, he purchased a gift card, I think for $120. He immediately turned around, added the gift card to his parents' Amazon account. He bought the K-bar knife with the sheath, the sharpener, and a bunch of vegan supplements. At the time that he was arrested, when they seized his car, the same exact vegan supplements that he purchased on Amazon with the gift card in the exact same order as the K-bar knife were in the trunk of his car. So, yes, well, it's stronger to have an eyewitness that says, I saw him physically hold it. And I'm not saying that's what she would have testified to, just...
Hold on.
I didn't really see anywhere that the defense was trying to argue that he didn't own the knife, that he didn't purchase it. They tried to say that his click history shouldn't be included because... Getting off track, I apologize.
No,
but it didn't really surprise me seeing her on that list.
Yeah, I guess it didn't surprise me either. I wondered if they were going to use, her to say like, oh, because I think they shared an Amazon account. So like maybe to narrow down, like, you're not the one who ordered these things, to kind of like process of elimination kind of thing. But I'm not really sure.
And I mean, I'll also even say too, I'm not even sure that was entirely needed, because when he purchased the knife, what he actually did is on his debit card, he purchased a gift card, I think for $120. He immediately turned around, added the gift card to his parents' Amazon account. He bought the K-bar knife with the sheath, the sharpener, and a bunch of vegan supplements.
Oh, she says that.
At the time that he was arrested, when they seized his car, the same exact vegan supplements that he purchased on Amazon with the gift card in the exact same order as the K-bar knife were in the trunk of his car.
Yeah, see, that's just incredible circumstantial evidence right there. Don't you agree? I mean, what that shows you is that, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're not really disputing, I guess, that they bought the K-bar knife, the sheath, and the sharpener. But it places it, like, in, like, well, it's his, right? I mean, so he bought it. So the argument they would have, well, I mean, it was on his dad's account, I mean, but no, it was in his car, the supplements that he bought in the same order.
So, yes, well, it's stronger to have an eyewitness that says, I saw him physically hold it. And I'm not saying that's what she would have testified to,
They're as dumb as they come.
Well, I get that that's stronger. I don't even think it was needed.
We should do like a competition where people try to memorize her speech and you redo it. See who can do it the best. You're as dumb as they. The truth is, you're as dumb as they come.
And just my last thing, and this might still be too fresh to talk about, but I just like I always think I started thinking about it when you gave your victim impact statement. And just with all the getting to know your parents and feeling like I know Kaylee in a way just through you guys and all of the videos and photos. Like I just always I don't know, I see such you've already made such a difference in the world, and I just wonder, have you thought more about like how you want Kaylee's legacy to live on, what part you'll play in that? Like and I know that takes time, but I didn't know if there was something in particular that you were sort of thinking about at this point.
Yeah, so I got about 1,000 ideas. But my mom and I have some awesome women behind us, and they've really been kind of rallying around us, trying to help us sort through a lot of these thoughts. And something that is really, really important to both me and my mom is that, I apologize. Kaylee would have done a lot of really, really good things in the world. And that's just a fact. And she would have provided a lot more light to this world than she ever took. So the way I see it is there's an imbalance of the scales, because she didn't get to give that light in the way that I know she would have. So my mom and I have kind of thought about creating something where we can give back, specifically right now to the community that helped raise Kaylee, right? Helped make her who she was, in a way to kind of restore that balance of light, right? There will never be a replacement for Kaylee, and anything we ever do will pale in comparison to what she is capable of. But I think we got to try, I think that we got to try to kind of right that injustice that happened, not to us necessarily, but to the world who would have experienced, what she had to give to it. And in a way of, just kind of getting up and doing our best. So we're still really sorting through those details there. Sorry.
She's emotional over here. I can tell. Well, you can hear it too.
And I'm excited to get there, but I'm also really excited at the prospect of having the time to do it and be really, really thoughtful about it. And then for me, something that's I need to do for me, and I've been doing it for a while now, is basically put forth everything, all of the documentation, all of the photos, anyone who will ever talk to me, everything, in a central database. And that is where, for me, Kaylee gets to live, right? Like that is me collecting all of these pieces of this part of her story in one place and bringing her home. And it's something that is probably going to take me a really, really long time, but I'm okay with that, because I know at the end when I sit back, this will be, almost like an encyclopedia of sorts that just has, you know, all of the answers and all of the pieces, and hopefully enough pieces to the point where, you know, it all comes together and it all makes sense in my head one day.
You mean in terms of the murders?
Yeah, in terms of, you know, understanding what was the beginning of the end, you know, in terms of understanding the gravity and the weight of what happened, because you can't shy away from it, right? We shy away from it and we sugarcoat it, and we take the bits and pieces of it that are digestible and we feed them to the public. But no one actually understands how sick this guy is. And it's not my job to shy away from it, because Kaylee had to live it. The least I can do is be able to understand it for her, you know, to be able to be, you know, an earthside person that, you know, can grasp and understand, you know, what she went through and what she endured.
So you want to get the story, of what really happened, basically, and get it all kind of in one place.
Everything.
So the bits and pieces that we kind of have, you know?
Yeah, and I'm also really passionate about this because there's still to this day so many conspiracies online. It's disgusting, right? And if I'm just being frank with you as my friend, I'm so sick of it. Like, I'm so sick of it, I could puke. So for me to be able to put myself in a position where, you know, maybe I don't share, hey, this is how wrong you are, X, Y, Z, you know, but to have that, you know, be armed with that knowledge of, here's why this doesn't work. Think. Nope, you're wrong here. Nope, you're wrong here. I think it'd be so valuable. And if I could ever get to a point where, you know, I could create something that's almost like a timepiece capsule collection where 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the line, people are going to want to know what happened, right? Mm-hmm. And they wouldn't have lived through this. Let me be the first source that tells them what happened to my sisters, so that they're not going to 4chan or to Reddit or to TikTok and, you know, say, oh my gosh, did you ever hear about the tunnels? Oh my God, did you hear about the cover-up? It was a frame job. Like, it feels so wrong to have so many of those things exist and be free for consumption and so widely consumed. I can't even really articulate how it makes you feel being on the other side of it. Like, but one day, if I could ever get there, it's the key to all this, if I could ever get anywhere, is being able to, you know, be the source of truth, you know, the Encyclopedia Brown on everything from A to Z. And if you stick along with me and, you know, you hold hands with me, maybe at the end you can understand too.
Yeah. I just think for some of those people with the conspiracy theories, like
they brought the tunnels into the Charlie Kirk case too.
And I've seen it with other cases. I mean, it's like a weird, it's almost like a hobby. Like,
right, yeah. See, that's exactly right.
Like, I don't think, no matter what anybody said, I mean, Bryan Kohberger confessed. Like, I mean, the man confessed and pled guilty.
He didn't just plead guilty, he confessed. Because in pleading guilty, he had to confess to each point as he went down. He said, yes, I did that, yeah.
I mean, what more could you... Yeah, I don't think there's anything anyone can say to these people. I really don't.
I'll talk to anyone. I'll argue with anyone. I will listen to anyone. But my sticking point is I need 3 facts that we can agree on, right? Like, if we can't agree on 3 facts, we have no grounds for this conversation. Because if you believe that everything is a cover-up and he was framed and this and that, and, oh, well, the DNA wasn't this. Right. If we can't agree on just one single... well, for me, 3 single sources of truth, then I don't know how to tell you this, but you're a lost cause. Like, I don't know how to tell you this, but call your therapist. Like, I'm sorry, I know it's mean.
Look, but that's why you gotta love her, man.
How I feel.
Who sounds just like that? What she just said right there, who sounds exactly like that? I mean, I can't tell you, I think I've said exactly the same thing that she just said there 1,000 times on here. I even write it every single day in the comments back to people. They'll say, that's not him. And I'll say, your brain isn't functioning correctly. Your IQ is low. I just go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. It is the truth. The truth is, if you're out there and you do not believe Bryan Kohberger is the killer, you are mentally ill. That is a reality, okay? Just like in the Kirk case, if you think there's some other magical shooter, you're crazy. Like today somebody said, what did they say? What's that when they say something about a shooter? If you think he was the sole shooter, like she said something like, do you actually believe that Tyler Robinson is the sole shooter? And you're nuts. And I go, well, yeah, there's only one shot, right? So he's the sole shooter. There isn't two shooters. And she goes, oh, man, you're crazy. Like, what do you mean? You said that he's part of it, but he isn't the sole shooter. There's another one, too. And I said, well, if there's only one shooter, he's the one, right? Because there's only one shot. Yeah, people are just nuts.
I know. I wish you just didn't have to see that stuff, though. I know it's impossible, but, it's like it makes me sad that you have to see it. Like, I wish you just could be blocked from it,
And here's, I don't have to see it, right? No one's forcing me on social media.
Right.
No one's forcing me to, read these articles or anything like that. But I've kind of gotten to a point where, personally, I'm just done being quiet about it. I think that silence, in some cases, can be a form of complicity, and I don't want to fall into that category. So it's a really hard balance to find, where it's are you salvageable? Are you a salvageable conspiracy theorist who just has genuine questions? Because a lot of it is confusing, and a lot of the answers have been weird.
I think there's very few people. Well, here's what I'll say. If all you've seen so far is conspiracies, and that's what your thoughts are, but you're a rational person, but you're believing that these people are in good faith telling you something, you might believe something. Today I was getting my hair cut, and the lady cutting my hair said, my friend said that, what was the point? Oh, that they got a 30-06 and there's no way you can stuff one down your pants. And I go, well, they're wrong. I mean, I think I said something worse though, well, that they're lunatics or something because, you can take it apart and put it down one pant and then the other pant and then,
Weird little trickle downs.
We've seen the video.
No one's kind of stood up behind the mic to take accountability and
all right, we just need 5 more channel memberships, you guys, and we'll have 60. That'd be a cool number, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be, you guys? Come on, you guys. Yeah, I'm never watching again.
to say, no, here, let me help explain this, right? So I get some of those questions. But then, you really do just run into some loonies. That's the truth.
Yeah, they're
thanks.
out
This
there.
account, there's one.
Trust
There's
me,
one.
I know. So, well, I appreciate you, Olivia. You're an inspiration to a lot of people, me included. So, thank you for all you do, and I know people will be looking to you to see what you do next and how they can help how they can help.
Yeah, I think that was a good interview by Brian Etton there. That was a good one. It's awesome. Yeah, and tell you what, if she puts together something, I'd definitely be supportive of it. I'd even help her build that thing that she wants to build, because I have all the videos and everything. You can just put in order and, be pretty sweet. She's building a really cool database. That's when the cell phone thing came up. Because I showed her how you can search. So here's something interesting, you guys. If you have a folder filled with PDF files while you're getting ready to do the other 4 channel memberships there, like if you have a folder filled with PDF files, like hundreds of them, and you want to search for keywords, I think you do Shift Control F, or go to the search option in Acrobat and hit Advanced Search, and you can literally search a folder filled with documents as long as they're optically read already, and it'll find the word that you're looking for. It's crazy. So I've been using that a lot, especially with all those sup files that were out there. So is this account the only one that's jumping on that? We just need 4 more. We can get to 60. All right. That was cool having Olivia in here for a while, though. Hey, you missed it. She was here earlier. Chatting. Go back and watch the live chat. She was funny, too. I'm just waiting. We got 4 more to go here. Yeah, it was cool. I haven't tried to... after I saw her on these interviews, I just said hello again, and I haven't tried to talk to her for a while. I don't like to be, you know... still keep bugging somebody like that. Tells you a lot about your skills. What does? I don't even know what you're talking about, man. Let's see. I just don't know what you're referring to in the sentence. You mean how people are always complaining, or? Four more, you guys. 4 more. We've just hit that lull again. It seems like every time I do the gifted 5, people act like, okay, hey, there we go. You know, it's like I do the gifted 5 just because I'm like, hey, I'm going to jump in now too. She's really inspired a lot of people. Yeah, she's so, I think she's, I'd like to see her be an attorney or something. I mean, I think she'd be incredible up there. She's really quick, sharp, you know, and that's what you kind of need to be. And I mean a prosecutor, not a defense attorney. Oh, that she was here. Okay. Well, we have such a long delay, Justice W1S. Thanks, Tammy McDonald. There's 2. We need 3 more, you guys. Trying to get to 60. Gifted memberships. Got JJ in there, and who got that one? Oh, Lisa Marie Durst. So I'm trying to see what in here looks interesting. If I click on these, could harm your computer if you trust the file, sees it from, open it, view its contents. What do you mean? I want to look at it the way I want to look at it. I don't care about those. I don't know. I just wanted to play those and go over that stuff. Yeah, I think so too, because you wouldn't want to be how could you be a defense attorney and defend somebody like Kohberger that you might get as a client? I mean, there's no way. I think she should be. I mean, when we say should, I just think if she was like a prosecutor, she'd be really good at it. She's so quick-witted, and the way she talks, and just like, I don't know, I think she could do it. I think that would be a really cool way to Yeah, that'd be a really neat way to honor even Kaylee, right? Like, man, now you're out there. Because her sister wanted to do, she was interested in true crime too, you know. Oh, did they? Yeah, yeah. I was just thinking that. I was thinking, man, I hope I got everything because they usually, if they change and put other ones out there, you can't see the ones that were new before. Are they good ones at all? I guess one of them. Lay witness list. I don't know. Yep, I think that's the signal that it's time to call it a night. Yeah, I mean, I still got more. I have a whole bunch of 360-degree video from, the Charlie Kirk situation. But whenever I make videos, nobody even. It's just it gets really tiresome. It's like 6,000 views or something, and it just doesn't work. So. Man, I thought for sure you guys would get that last 5 to get to 60, but didn't happen. So that's when you say, hey, it's dead as a doornail now. The prosecutor from the Adelson case would be a dream. I don't know. Just, you don't have to overthink things, Megsy. Just, Let's see. Like too much, you're adding too much into it. She would just be good by herself. Let's see. We got received. Oh, hey, look at there's one there. In T's apple bottom jeans. What does that mean? Well, almost. Minding how important it is. Journaling. I've thought of doing that. But what's that worth? That's what she said. All right, anyways, let's go through here. We got Wild Bill Wassman. Then we had Nader Bader, Dixie Hippie, Alley Cake, Tree Ducky, Pam, and then Susan Smith, Hilson House of Crazy, Marilee's. Oh, look at that. We got Chris O'Connell did 5. We just beat it. All right. Amazing. I'll still read these anyway. Saturn Dreaming. Okay, what time is it? All right. I might have to stay on for 27 more minutes. Saturn. They actually said that on when I did my meeting with YouTube. They said, yeah, have little goals, Like you reach a certain goal. And so I guess what we'll do is we'll stay on for 27 more minutes. But thanks, Saturn, Dreaming of Mercury, Marilee's, BSER, Wilson, what is that? No, Wisconsin, Cat Mom, gifted 1, and Lisa Belson gifted 10, and Tracy Van Brott gifted 1, then Tammy McDonald, then we had Justice W1NS, new member, then Christine, then Justice W1. I got it. Aren't you guys? I don't. It's so hard to read these crazy names with all the numbers. Justice W, then Marilee's, then Christine YK, then Karen Messenger gifted 5, then Tammy, Aaron, and then we had Tammy McDonald, And then Romeo's Heart, gifted 5. Tina Humphrey, 9 months. Thank you. Then Mama 457 Rose, Romeo's Heart, 70 months. And Chris O'Connell, 5 gifted memberships. Then Romeo's Heart with a cat eye donation. Then Lisa Belson again with 10. Then Tina Humphrey and Susan Smith. Hey, are you still there, Lisa Belson? Have you had to time anybody out or remove any comments yet? Is it hard to pull the trigger that first time? And then I gifted 5. Then this account, Tammy McDonald, Lisa V, and Chris O'Connell. And then we had, let's see, looks like Lisa Valenzuela did a coffee. Then Aaron Hughes did a Venmo, and then Shanna, I guess she was the lady that was here before, who said she sidetracked the show, but you didn't sidetrack anything. Sent a Cash App. Thank you. I don't know. Do you know of any? Were there any interesting documents in there, Lisa? I started looking at them, and they had like the state's witness list here. I don't know if that's interesting or not, but are these words? Yeah. How about, is Kohberger in there? Yeah, so they're not even in there. Look how long that's just huge. Look at our own Paulette's in there. Jeez, that's crazy. I don't think she's still here. She was here earlier. I think when we started, that topic got brought up about her having to see. She took off. I don't know if that's why she left. She said she was only here for a little bit of time. Yeah, that's not interesting. I did order some stuff, so hopefully we get it. Trying to get the Corner Club videos. That would be pretty interesting, I think. Yeah, I just thought of Gen H. Yeah, you know it's weird. Sometimes I'll look at a video that I made 3 years ago or something. And Gen H is always in there saying something. Yeah, she would always, she was she was so nice. Yeah, that was so hard for me. I remember that was when I went to for my the documentary I was in for the Idaho, the Delphi case. I remember driving there and she called me up, or no, I called her, I think. And we were just talking, and God, it was just sucked. I mean, you could tell she wanted to live so bad, And she said, if I could just stop throwing up, I think I could. And it's like, oh man, like you can't stop throwing, you just keep throwing up. I didn't say that, but you're just thinking that. And then I remember, like, I don't know, I couldn't get a hold of her or something, and then her mom called me to tell me that she wasn't, she died. It's like, God, that was just brutal. Such a nice person. Like, she'd send me pictures where she didn't have any hair and stuff, but still looked pretty or cute or whatever you want to call it. It's just, yeah, it sucked. And then one of the the ex-troll mods that I have, she pretended that they were good friends, and that wasn't the case at all. I think it was really weird because I was trying to get a hold of the parents because we were going to originally name the scholarship fund after her. But I couldn't get a hold of the parents ever again after that, and I kind of suspect that one of my trolls went and said something over there. But anyways, but the idea, the concept of the scholarship fund came as a result of her. And so now we have it. It's called the Fallen Freaks Scholarship Fund. So any freak out there that passes away, just know that, hey, we're giving these scholarships out every single, couple times a year usually. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, they suck. Yeah, the trolls out there, they're such bad people, But they try to make you seem like you're bad because they had a bad experience, or you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. See, I just know what it takes on a channel. Let me ask you guys something. So let's say you have 30 nights in a month. And let's say that with your ad revenue and everything, the channel YouTube revenue was $200. And how much is that a month? How much money is that? It's like $6,000, right? And then you get taxed on 6, and that'd be $4,500. How in the hell would I be able to donate $5,000 in a month? How would that even happen? It would never happen at all if we just struggled along. So I know what it takes to be able to give something, like we try to. I mean, the worst month I ever had was 1,500 or 1,000, I think. It was just like horrendous. I think the channel brought in 7,500 or something. And, I mean, there's a certain point where that's just kind of like the cost of, the income the channel has to make. And I still gave 1,000 that time, Because after you do that, you got to figure, then there's taxes I have to pay on that. It's crazy. So, I mean, I know what it takes. That's why every night I'm like, hey, let's keep going. So if the channel brings in, like, let's say it brought in 500 every single day, and you get up to 15,000, then you could probably donate, 5, because then there's tax on 15, but in reality, you could, the charity part, you could write off 5. So you're only being taxed on 10, so it'd be still 3,000 or so on that. So it'd be like 7,000, and then to the channel, and then 5 went to charity. Is that shitty? I mean, that's like crazy, right? Like, I don't know. The other channels don't do anything, and they get way more. I mean, you should see what it looks like in there sometimes. Looks like a slot machine up on there when they're doing the conspiracies, and they don't donate a nickel to anybody. But who gets the trolling? Me, because I say, hey, everybody, if you'd like to help support the channel, and then all of a sudden, oh, look at Gray, he's out there trying to. It's just crazy. I mean, I don't know what else to do, but we've donated $265,000 in 6 years, so that's where you got to look at that. That's a pretty big deal. Is anybody still here? Or like clear the room out? You guys are so like there's no comments. Bruce typing in "you can't" was like 20 minutes ago. Man, you guys are boring. Where the hell did you go? It's like nobody's even here. I was just explaining something to you. Does it make sense what I just said? Let's see. Well, I'm a freak too, though. Yeah, right. I mean, it feels like, I think it's pretty reasonable too, right? Like, I mean, it's not like, oh man, he's only doing like 4 or 5% or something. It usually comes around, right around 25, 30. Used to be, I tried to do like 33%, but we were struggling. And then last month, I got back up pretty close to that number, or I think it was it this month or last month? Or last month was my, where I have to pay taxes, so I can't do quite as much, but I still did, I think we did 5,000 something. I think that's pretty good. I'm sure if you ask the people out there that are receiving it, they would be pretty happy. What are you talking about? YouTube handle? You know, do you ever just read the room? Every time I read your comments, they're so unrelated to anything anybody's saying. You know? What does that mean? That doesn't even make any sense. YouTube, Golden State Killer type situation. You know? What does that even mean? That doesn't even mean anything that you just typed in there. Can anybody even explain that rationally? Let's see. Is this whole conspiracy, with quotes around it, surrounding this case, initiated by some sort of Golden State Killer type situation? That makes absolutely no sense at all, unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, what does it even mean? Maybe this account, maybe let's see. No, it's not. What does it have to do with genetic genealogy? I don't understand the connection. No, because that one led to him, and so did this one. Yeah. We got about 2 more of those types of comments. YouTube handle 3, and then we're going to have to call it a good night on your existence on the channel. It's just not interesting. Well, I mean, I can't comment if I'm not interesting, Gray. Well, it seems almost intentional. Like, intentionally uninteresting, you know? That's the only thing I can come up with, is that you're intentionally trying to do that. Good night, Donna. How it was claimed to be a setup because of the DNA. Who was claiming that in his case? Who was claiming that in the Golden State Killer case, that it was a setup because of DNA? I mean, why did you even bring that one up? It's crazy. Doesn't make any sense. Come up with something better, man. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm just hanging out right now. I keep getting texts from... I'm supposed to do my annual beach fest thing that I do this weekend coming up. I think I'll try to do some live streams out there. See if it works. I don't know. Good night, Tammy McDonald. Thank you very much for your support tonight. Appreciate that. Well, that's the same trip that I went on last year where I filmed that. I was hoping to do it, but apparently it looks like it's going to be raining and crappy. I'll bring it though. Maybe there'll be an early morning time where it's foggy and not raining or something. It's going to be the same place, but maybe I'll fly it farther down or something. Oh yeah, so let me see. What was the... somebody sent something. Yeah, these images that are going around. They're trying to say it was him Hold on, let me see if I can find it. It's down there. No. I'll send this. Wait, who messaged me? I think somebody sent it to Paramount Tactical because he sent it to me. What do you think of this? So I'm going to have to send it to my email and then try to put it on the screen. Apparently everybody with a maroon shirt is now is Tyler Robinson. Okay. Gotta go get my email. There, I'll just save these out. Might take a second. There's one. Two. Okay. Yeah, so there's these people going around with like this video, right, where everybody's running away and they're pointing at this guy right here, saying, "Oh, look at him! His knee, he doesn't have legs that look like this, okay? He doesn't look like that. His also the shorts aren't the same." But, you know, then they throw this out there and then you go, "Oh, look, it's the same guy because he's got the hat with the logo on the front, and then this guy has a logo on the front, and he's got sort of a maroon-looking shirt. But on this one, look at how white his legs are, or whatever that white is. I don't know what that is. And this guy doesn't have Chuck Taylors on. You know? But I see why people want to try to make that into something. You know? And I'm not sure. For some reason, they were pointing at something else over here. But here's the thing. And then they also have this wrong. It's not 807 over there. How can that be him when he's literally on the roof? And then he runs into the woods and then changes clothes. You know, the shot had just happened. This guy's running from there. See? Yeah, I mean, I get like, oh, wow, it kind of looks like a similar, you know, you're just looking around in a huge crowd of people and then zooming in on, because even the guy, remember the guy that was across the way, he too was wearing a maroon shirt, and they all said that that was him. This has nothing to do with anything. All right, this is actually, these are actually sort of green shorts, and these aren't green at all. They're like purple or black, dark, you know, dark purple. I'm not even sure what word I'm looking for, or you know, really dark maroon shorts. They're definitely not green, I can tell you that. So, I don't know, what do you think of that? It's just, it's like every day you got to keep putting out the fires and stuff. You know, hey, what about that guy over there? Look at right there. Look at this guy. He's got the same color. Oh, what about this one? He's just him. He just changed hats. You know, but this one, at least you have a hat that you can say, look, it's only got one logo on it, and it just doesn't make any sense. And then you'll say, well, it can't be him because he's on the roof. And you go, but that's not him, you see? This is the original guy. See, what they probably think is this is Twigs here. This is Twigs, and Tyler Robinson's the other guy. You know, the other shooter. Except Twigs got rid of his backpack, right? He forgot to carry that with him in this one. So they probably think that that is a different, that's Twigs, and Tyler Robinson is on the roof, and Twigs is helping him out, and then the whole text message exchange is to sort of, you know, I mean, if you want to come up with a conspiracy, that one's more believable than shooting from behind or through, you know, the hands or some crazy guy up in a bush or something. Yeah, well, I don't know if these ones are rolled up or whatever, but yeah, I mean, it's just not the same person, you know. This guy's feet are way bigger than his feet. They're running out of ideas. Get it? They're running out of ideas. You know, I did find this archive that was out there, you know, like Internet Archive, and it had all these different shots that we hadn't seen before. You know, some of them are really clear. I can't show them though, unfortunately, but it's like a repository. Let's see. I don't know. Oh
my gosh.
So these are
gosh.
So this is after.
Charlie, stop. Charlie. We gotta get out of here. Oh my gosh. Charlie.
So those are like, I haven't seen any. Like a lot of these I haven't seen before. But they're already hustling them out of there. You know, it's just... Oh
my gosh.
So they didn't stay down like that for very long, so they got him out of there pretty quick.
Oh my gosh. No, stop.
Wait, where's the guy in the maroon shirt? We should be able to see him. Man, that must have been so freaky for those people. Not visible. What does that mean, not visible? Oh, I see.
Organizer closer to Charlie's position said he was shot in the neck. Everyone.
Love everyone, regardless of race. Everyone.
Cool. Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys coming out here.
We appreciate you. Love you
too. Are you gonna go down and see get closer? Are they like restricting you guys up here or what?
See, this one, the audio is off. I haven't talked to him about it. See how when this guy's lips moving, you can't hear it?
Nah, it's too crowded.
It's just there's just so much.
Before we had a flag and we had it, so it was positioned above the tent, so it would be in the camera.
See, that's why these guys wiggle before the sound, because the sound's off. I fixed it where I matched up this guy's lips with the audio, and then this guy reacts correctly. But if you're a conspiracy theorist, it means there's something just not right here. So this is a pretty good angle video here that's out there. Look at this. So that shows you exactly, Kirk was like right there. The drone footage. Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. So there's the top of the roof where he, I think he was right there. He had the markers there before. And look at this, you guys. Right there. Those are my little marks. See, nobody ever noticed those. That's so funny. But right here, see these 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marks? Those are right there where the handprint are and everything. They didn't take the crime scene down too soon. They were there for days. You're incorrect. Sorry. We actually talked to the officer there, and he said, yeah, they were there for a day, you know, doing all the measurements and everything. And then after that, they replaced the bloody ground and everything with tiles and so forth. Pavers. They're just incorrect. All right? It's okay to be wrong. Just admit it, though, once you're wrong. So there's the, that lady was the one that Brian Enton was talking about. See, the gun was found right down in there. Right down in that area. See, look at where they're taping it off. Right here. And what's this little thing there? We can actually get this dialed in here. Let's take a look. See? Is it this one? I think it's that one that they have the tape on. Pretty sure. Let's see. Okay, let me go down to... I see it. Let's just go down to Street View and see how similar we can get that. So yeah, you can only see 2 lights on the left. And so that right there is probably this little piece right there. You see that? That's that one. And let's see, is the line, this yellow line, like just off of that, or I don't know if we can see that. Yeah, I mean, it's close. It's right there. And so that makes sense. Yeah. So this one is that cement right there. So look where they actually tied that to this pole right there. Okay. And let's see if we can see the other side of it. Then they go down to the next pole. All right. So if we go up in the air from here, look how perfect that works. That pole to this pole, and look where I had him on the graphic going into the woods where the gun is. So the gun was found in the woods right here. They merely used this pole because it's a pole. I mean, yeah, it's like the next pole, you made it a pole to here. Crime scene tape went like this. Right, like this, and then probably, you know, to this one, and then maybe across the street like that, and then like that. That's the... Well, they didn't do that piece there, but... So good. That sort of verifies that one. And they're walking down right where the gun was, so... That must be crazy. See, and then look at that. See, boom. See how it's closer to that pole? That's exactly where I have it. They're standing right there. It's right down from there. See? I have it right here. There's the pole right here in. God, I'm good at this. Isn't that weird? Just even that little shot right there. The camera pans where the rifle is. Watch. And then you go like this. And there's the ladder. He jumped down right here. And then he ran like that. And then went into the same woods we were just looking at. Where's this one? Ah, that's probably why he couldn't get there. He wanted to go in from the back. All right, let's see how. Let me see if I can find this quick. Hold on. That looks like it's on a side street. I wonder if they have it. Maybe it's even over here on this one. Nah. It's kind of a... What else is in there? Like a curve and then a couple homes there. I was looking at this one right here. That doesn't really work like that. Yeah, I don't know exactly where that is, but you would think it would be back here because there's not really any homes over there. I was looking at this one, but that's doesn't really look right. See, he would have ran back through here, so they would probably want to shut down back in this area. So we have a road that's curving around, kind of like that. Is that it right there? Let me look. Yeah. I was kind of thinking something like in there. But that's where the house was around the corner where the surveillance was that I got. It's right there. Now let me play it. Maybe there's... Yeah, it's pretty crazy. They're all over the place. The heck? All right, now I gotta find the spot. Guess you guys can chat amongst yourself. I gotta look over here and just see. I feel like that's up on a hill going down. But it curves to the left. It's not on the main road. It's got to be right behind the residence here. Has to be. There's a big tree. I like to do this just for fun. I tried to talk to the other people that had surveillance, but they all just kind of pretended you weren't saying anything. I talked to the guy again today. He's going to go check the video out for me on the day before to see if he can see him there. Oh, wait. Is that it? No, I think I just found it. It's right there. It is on the main road over here. There, watch. There it is. See that? Right there and right there. It's just on the ground. I think it's probably... There you go. Like this. How's that, eh? See? I can do it, man. I can do it. Anyways. Alright. Cool. You guys? They shut this whole street down over here. How you navigate. I'm so useless with navigating things, which is ironic because my grandpa was a fighter pilot, navigator in the war. Well, tell him, well, if he's still alive, tell him thanks. Yeah, I use 3D programs, and this thing has a similar movement structure moving around in here. It's pretty cool. But yeah, now it makes sense. They pretty much blocked this whole street down. All right. Well, that's it, you guys. We stayed on for extra minutes. Very cool. And thank you guys for reaching the goal, having a good night, decent night in here. Didn't really ask as many million times as normal, so that was good. Yeah. Well, I found it kind of quick there for you, Bruce. But anyways, yeah, I got to get going. So thank you for being here, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. And everybody, you guys, I thought the show was pretty fun tonight. It was really cool having, and I want to say thanks to Olivia out there who showed up and talked to the freaks for a while. I think she was just kind of on there for a little bit. She wasn't like hanging out or anything like that. And man, that one piece of information is one that I've always wanted to know. But she was told that they were within 100 meters 23 different times. Kohberger was, and that's right in the complex. I mean, that is incredibly damning information right there. It wasn't just, oh, his phone, because we never had that. I'll take her talking to the prosecutors as absolute evidence on that. She wouldn't make something like that up. So, yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, she is cool. She types exactly the way she talks, too, you know. It's like just funny, clear, little one-liners, you know. But anyways, thanks, everybody. Thank you for your generosity. Appreciate it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. And who knows what tomorrow will bring. And as I always say, everybody, until next time, fill it in, you guys. Yeah, be safe out there.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person
I know, I want all that stuff too.
Crime dissector, thug rejector, I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gregor's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be your protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a smacker with a vector on his specter. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temper fucking check, y'all. I have no agenda, I'm never tender, and I'll send it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender.
Well,
yeah,
good.
so I'll just
At least
get right back to
everybody
work.
like it.
All right, everybody, talk to you later.
Yeah, by the way, that's Lori Daybell is the one that's dancing there, okay? I just put her, I made a character to look like Lori Daybell, and then she dances. All right, so thanks, everybody. See you later. And be safe out there. Good seeing you, Romeo's Heart. Haven't seen you in a long time, if you're still out there.